just like they drew it up. How about a victory Monday in Week 5? Welcome into 104.5 The Zone. Lucas Panzica, Robert Walsh with you. Buck is on his way. His flight just landed from Arizona, so there will be time for Buck to get in here and tell you that none of it matters and the Titans didn't deserve to win the football game and none of you should be happy today. So until he gets here, Titans fans, you get to enjoy this. You get to enjoy a victory Monday in one of the craziest fourth quarters that I have ever seen in my lifetime. Robert, we do this. We get hyperbolic. We all do it. We have recency bias. But I think you would be hard-pressed to find a wackier fourth quarter regular season game in recent memory. Certainly in Titans' recent history. 22-21, the win over Arizona on the road, a 19-point surge to get the first win of 2025, break a 10-game losing skid, and win in Glendale for the first time in the Titans era. I bet you did not think, Robert Walsh, when DeMercado was running free through the Titans secondary to make it a 28-6 ball game in the fourth quarter, that we would be talking about a Titans win on this Monday.
No, and if you would like a fun experiment, go look at the projected win percentage throughout the game, where it was like you have to think that the Cardinals had like a 96% guaranteed win or something like that.
Higher.
98?
Next Gen Stats said yesterday that the Titans' win probability was as low as 1.8% in their comeback win over the Cardinals, which is the second most improbable comeback of the season.
Oh, wow.
Their average win probability through 60 minutes, 12.1%. That's the lowest average win probability in a win in the Next Gen Stats era since 2016.
So worth noting, especially since you said, I don't think we've seen a wilder fourth quarter comeback, when I feel like all that happened this weekend were comebacks in college and the NFL. You saw a ton of them yesterday. We had an incredible slate of football, at least over the weekend, for you guys, for everyone else. Besides me.
Not you. We'll get to that. We'll get to that. Yes, it was a weekend of comebacks, a Sunday of comebacks in the NFL, and the Titans joined that club. They joined the Panthers and the Broncos and the Saints, who also got their first win of the season in dramatic fashion. The last time the Titans beat the Cardinals, it was 2009. Titans fans will all remember this, at what was then LP Field, in a season where the Titans started 0-6. The last time the Titans started 0-4 or worse in a season was this 2009 season, and we all remember it. The turnaround, they put VY in at quarterback. The Titans won 5 straight games after that 0-6 start. The fifth of those 5 straight wins came against the Arizona Cardinals in a crazy finish with Vince Young leading a 99-yard drive with multiple fourth down conversions to find Kenny Britt in the back of the end zone as time expired for the Titans to win 20-17. That was the last time the Titans beat the Arizona Cardinals. Now, they don't play very often, obviously. They had only played 3 times since that 2009 season. Cardinals had won all 3. So fast forward to 2025 and the 13th meeting between Tennessee and Arizona, and it was an 80-yard game-winning drive to take the first win of the season after an 0-4 start. It was VY in 2009. It's Cameron Ward in 2025. The biggest comeback win for the Titans since 2006 when they were down 21 against the Giants to come back and win 24-21. Buck put it to a poll. Craziest Titans win since when? 615-737-1045. Would love to field y'all's calls. We're also, of course, on 1045 The Zone TV, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and Twitch, where you can chime in on the F&M Bank chat. It's hard to think of a Titans-era win more improbable than what they did yesterday in Arizona. Now, Robert, obviously, it has to be said, before we go on to talk about Cameron Ward and his fourth quarter surge, and Calvin Ridley with all of the doubts about him playing on Sunday, stepping up in that game, and Joey Sly bouncing back from the missed extra point that kept it a 9-point game throughout that comeback, and the general craziness of this game, it has to be said, this was a collapse of epic proportions by the Arizona Cardinals. If you're a Cardinals fan today and throughout the course of this week, you are sick to your stomach, because the DeMercado fumble at the goal line is one thing, right? It's crazy that it still happens in the NFL. We saw this last week, with Adonai Mitchell with the Colts. One of the best plays of the season turns into a turnover because he can't just hold on to the ball going over the goal line. Again, that would have made it 28-6 with less than 13 minutes to play in the game. That's one thing. The interception that is then fumbled and recovered in the end zone by Tyler Lockett to bring the Titans within 2, a whole other thing. And all of that is not even including the turnover that the Cardinals had on the edge of the red zone on a third down where the snap hits Kyler Murray's face mask, and it's recovered by Draymond Jones. Titans take over. And the Titans didn't do anything with that drive, but obviously it wiped off what would have been surely at least 3 points for the Cardinals on that drive. So Arizona loses 3 games in a row, all 3 on walk-off field goals. And this one, a collapse that Cardinals fans will remember for a long time. With that said, how many times have we seen the Titans have opportunities handed to them and be unable to capitalize? We saw it in week 1. Not to this degree, not to this level of collapse from the Denver Broncos, but the Broncos gave the Titans every opportunity to take a week 1 upset win on the road, and the Titans just kept handing it back to Denver. So there is something to be said for that, right? Yes, the Cardinals lost this game. There is no question. It was in their control, and they fumbled it over and over and over. But the Titans still had to go down the field and make those plays after looking lifeless on offense. They didn't have a first down in the third quarter. Cameron Ward was 5 of 16 by halftime. He's missing open receivers, accuracy issues. When he was on target, there were drops in the first half, critical drops, third down drops from Alec Iomanner and Tyler Lockett on a ball that sure was a little bit behind him and it wasn't a perfect throw, but that's your safety blanket, right? It's supposed to be your veteran receiver. Lockett have to help out your young quarterback. And for Cameron Ward to go from 5 of 16 in the first half for 58 yards to just in the fourth quarter alone, 13 of 18 for 193 yards and the 1 interception that obviously somehow turned into a Titans touchdown. Still, though, Robert, it was the kind of moment that you're waiting for your number 1 overall draft pick, your rookie quarterback on a team that's not playing well, that doesn't have the pieces, and he's given an opportunity to make his mark, to have a moment to rise up and meet that moment, and he did that in the fourth quarter of this game. No matter what the Cardinals did to hand him that opportunity, he still had to take advantage of the opportunity, and he did. And it's okay to be encouraged by that this week and feel good about it if you're a Titans fan.
For sure. And box score watchers are still going to say Cam Ward isn't great. Cam Ward's not doing anything impressive. But if you saw the throws he had, both the long throws to Calvin Ridley, the dot to Gunnar Helm on the sideline right in front of the end zone, he is making incredible throws. Eventually, I feel like I use this anecdote a lot, but ECU's old head coach used to say, you lose big, then you lose small, then you win small, then you win big. It seems like they are starting to turn, at least in certain instances, into the lose small into win smalls, which is a huge win for Titans.
615-737-1045 for you to react. Ben Jones is going to be in studio in hour 2. Brett Kern will join us in hour 3. Brian Callahan won't speak until 2:30 later this afternoon. West Coast trip, Titans coming back. Everything kind of pushed a little bit for the football team at Ascension St. Thomas Sports Park. But we'll see. And that conversation will be had throughout the course of the week. Will this be some sort of launch pad, a springboard for the Titans? Because, again, to their credit, as much as the Cardinals did to lose this game, the resilient and relentless line that Brian Callahan has been touting all season that has been so hard to see when they're losing 26-0 and getting blanked in Houston, right? And just giving up opportunity after opportunity to win in Denver and being outscored in the fourth quarter the way they have been. They were resilient and relentless yesterday. By definition, they were, right? L'Jarius Sneed doesn't necessarily make contact to punch the ball out when DeMercado's crossing the goal line, but he's inches from it. So you see that effort in a game, a play that would have ended the game at that point and assuredly sent the Titans to 0-5 if they're down 28-6 a couple minutes into the fourth quarter. So we can do both today. We can straddle that line and talk about how Arizona somehow found a way to lose this game and also how the Titans were able to make them pay. Completions of 47 and 38 yards to Calvin Ridley in the fourth quarter. That helped set up, number 1, a Titans touchdown, and number 2, the game-winning field goal by Joey Sly, who missed the extra point earlier, was able to bounce back. He converted on all three of his field goal attempts yesterday from 44, 51, and 29, the last one to win the game. Can we hear from a relieved Brian Callahan and his opening statement after a 22-21 win in Arizona?
Obviously, just really exciting to get a win, to show that kind of fight in a game where we had to claw our way back into it. It was everything that we needed to see from our football team. We've been waiting to see for a couple of weeks now, the ability to make the plays when it mattered to help us win the game. And those guys fought like crazy tonight. It was superb effort all the way around. Awesome to see. I think just the resilience of the team, the fight that they show when the way things have gone for us early on this year, to come in and fight the way they fought. And even when it didn't look good in the first half, we kept battling. And that's all that we ask of those guys. And they did a great job. I think individually, some individual efforts. Jeff Simmons continues to play at what I think is, potentially Defensive Player of the Year level. I mean, he's been phenomenal in every game he's played. I thought L'Jarius Sneed effort on that short yardage ball that got, it was because he was there chasing it down. That's incredible effort to make a play. And, sometimes you got to have things go your way a little bit. And that was great to see have happen. I think Cam made big plays when we needed him to. And both tight ends, Gunner and Chig and Calvin, when we needed the plays to be made, they made them. And I think that's the critical part. It's what we've been searching for the first month of the season is guys making plays when they need to make the play. So really proud of the team, really proud of the fight. And it's good to get a win. And now it's just one. We're going to try to keep rolling and keep stacking, but proud of what we showed today.
Brian Callahan, after a crazy comeback win in Arizona, 22-21. Titans are 1-4. Cardinals fall to 2-3. 3 straight losses on last-second field goals after a 2-0 start to the season. Cam Moore, 21 of 39, 265 yards, no touchdowns. The interception that resulted in a Titans touchdown. Calvin Ridley, 5 catches for 131 yards with that long of 47. He has his breakout game of the season after a slow and struggling start and a knee and elbow injury that held him out of most of the week of practice last week. So obviously a lot of things coming together for the Titans yesterday and falling in their lap, but they were able to take advantage and get that first win of the season. 615-737-1045. We will take your phone calls, and Robert has a recent example of the last time the Titans won with an even lower probability than what Next Gen Stats gave us from yesterday's game. We'll tell you all of that and take your calls next on 1045 The Zone. 22-21. Happy flight home from Glendale, Arizona. Titans win at the Cardinals for the first time in the Titans era. Winning in Arizona, first win of the season. They are winless no longer. It is just the lowly New York Jets, Robert, that still have that 0 in the W column. Looking good for your preseason prediction.
Not so good for the Dan Graziano. They will lead the league in rushing prediction. Actually, I need to check that. Last time I checked, they were like 5th. So not far off, but you're still not right, Dano.
By the way, Raiders, talk about lifeless, 40-6 at the Colts. 2-1-4 teams meeting in Vegas next week, and we'll have time to talk about all of that, but did have an eye on that throughout the course of the day. Vegas, man, they are inept right now offensively. Geno Smith keeps turning the ball over. So the point is there will be opportunity as the schedule lightens up a little bit moving forward for yesterday to be a launch pad of sorts for the Titans. But, of course, that fourth quarter is what they're going to need more of, especially offensively. The defense, who didn't allow a point after the Cardinals took that 21-3 lead. Obviously, a lot of that had to do with the Arizona Cardinals. But if they can use this to create some momentum, the Vegas game on the road is a winnable game. If the Titans are able to stack those wins, that remains to be seen. 615-737-1045. Buck is on his way in here to damper the mood, so he'll be here at some point as his flight lands from Arizona. But we will take your calls in the meantime. We are fueled, of course, by Hattie B's Hot Chicken, the best in the world. Go get you some Hattie B's today to celebrate a Titans victory. Tommy is up first in Nashville to talk the Titans win. Hey, Tommy.
Thank you. I was real impressed with our not giving up. I mean, that was the most freakiest game besides the Buffalo victory at home I've ever seen with the Titans. And the play where the guy dropped the ball, that was such crazy. But I thought, how did that guy get so wide open as far as the whole, when we had everybody up on the line of scrimmage? That's concerning our defense that gave them a chance to take the game out of touch. And I thought one of the biggest plays of the game was, thank God, Arizona just tried not to lose and try to win. The third down play where they just handed the ball off, only up 2 points to give it back to us for us to have a chance to win. I'll hang up and listen. Thanks.
Yeah, thanks for the call, Tommy. Yes, Arizona going very conservative there late with that third down play call. But to your point about the touchdown run that was wiped off with the DeMercado fumble, that's the thing, Tommy. It was deja vu, right? It was rinse repeat from last week. That the defense, certainly early in the game, Arizona was just having its way with the Titans. Marvin Harrison Jr. Mossing Jalen Armour-Davis and Xavier Woods to get the ball inside the one. They punch it in with Michael Carter. Titans respond with a field goal drive, but Arizona gets it back and just rips off back-to-back touchdowns. They scored touchdowns on all three of their first 3 possessions of the football game, and it just looked like a rout. I mean, it's 21-3 early second quarter. And, to their credit, the Titans defense started to settle in from there. But offensively, in the third quarter, when the Titans, still down 2 scores, got the football to open up the second half, have a chance to go down and make it a 1-score game, couldn't move the football. 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out. Titans didn't have a first down in the third quarter that we've already talked about. And so defensively, it just felt like the same thing. The defense was hanging in after a tough start. They were giving the Titans a chance to get back into the football game, but at some point, it was too much to ask, and the dam just broke. And I'm sure we could talk to Ben Jones about how that gap opened so widely for DeMercado, how there wasn't a single Titans defensive back over the top to make that stop and turn it from a 12 or 13-yard run to 72 yards, and obviously things end up working out for the Titans. There was some fortune involved, absolutely. But it just felt like it was going down the same path that we've seen week in and week out. And then you talk about a turn of events, 19 straight points from the second through the fourth quarter. The fourth quarter, which has been so bad to the Titans in 2025. Coming into this game, Robert, they had been outscored 47-10. 47-10 in the final frame. It was the widest scoring margin in terms of being on the wrong side of it in the NFL, and not even close. Not even close. And the Titans outscored the Cardinals 16-0 in the fourth. 615-737-1045. Let's go to Micah in Nolensville up next. Hey, Micah.
Hey, guys. Thank you for taking my call. A big thing that I thought that a lot of people haven't been mentioning is that offensive line for Cam Ward. I thought held up, pretty well. A lot of this year, they've given up a lot of sacks and haven't given him time. Especially towards the end of the game there, they were giving him time to throw the ball, and I think that really impacted the game when Cam Ward could actually get comfortable, sit in the pocket, and deliver a ball instead of always improvising.
Hey, thanks for the call, Micah. It's a good point. Offensive line had its best performance of the season so far. Cam Ward sacked twice, both of them by Josh Sweat. Both of his 2 QB hits were sacks. Outside of Sweat, the Cardinals had 2 QB hits on the day in general. And I heard Ramon making this point this morning that Titans tight ends, running backs were much better, chipping pass rushers coming in. But overall, the pass protection was the best that it's been. And one thing the Titans did well on that opening drive that stalled and ended in a 44-yard Joey Sly field goal, they were committed to running the football right out of the gate. 38 of the 44 yards on that opening series were on the ground from Tony Pollard and Tyjae Spears, who made his 2025 season debut. And the Titans got away from that a little bit. But, yeah, that's the thing. Cam Ward's issues yesterday in the first half, really through the first 3 quarters, didn't come from being affected in the pocket, right? They had their 2 sacks, but it got to a point where I think Titans fans, I'm sure plenty of Titans media in the press box were starting to have those inner conversations of, okay, how worrying is this for Cam Ward? Because we were talking all last week about the idea of regression after 4 games. How 4 games is too small of a sample size to actually be able to say that. But in terms of the week to week, that's where it felt like it was headed in the first 3 quarters of this game. We mentioned it, 5 of 16 in the first half, and a lot of that was just Cameron Ward missing open players. And it was like he just needed that shot in the arm to get a wave of momentum. I don't know, Robert. I don't know. In fact, before we hear from Cam Ward, you mentioned that the Titans actually have had a recent game where they had a lower win probability than yesterday. Next Gen Stats telling us 1.8% was the lowest win probability the Titans had yesterday in that comeback victory. What is the last example of the Titans having a victory like this, where the win probability was in the basement the way it was yesterday?
In 2003 or 2023.
Oh, Miami.
Correct. The Dolphins had a 99.7% chance of winning after Will Levis's pass to NWI went incomplete to set up a 3rd and 4 from their own 31. They at that time they were down 27-13. And let me go through the top contributors for the Titans on offense and defense for that game. Will Levis.
Yep.
Went 23 of 38 with a touchdown and a pick. Derrick Henry with 2 touchdowns. DeAndre Hopkins with a touchdown. Harold Landry with 3 sacks. Azeez Al-Shire with 10 tackles. And came back for the improbable win.
That was a Monday Night Football game, if I'm not mistaken.
Correct. Also on the road.
Late in the season?
The Titans were 5-8 at that point.
Okay.
So that would have been... I hate doing math.
No, I'll let you do the math on that.
It's okay. You got it.
But yeah, I mean, it was right up there, right? The Dolphins collapsed in that game, and the Titans took advantage. And that's Will Levis celebrating with the neck vein popping out, right? Just a game in a season that was going down a certain path that gave you a shot in the arm that you did not expect to get. And so here's the thing. That was under Mike Vrabel, obviously. Last year, we saw the Titans go down to Houston and get a big win, put up 37 points. They finally broke the dreaded 30-point curse. They got a divisional win on the road, and we said, okay, how will they use this as a launch pad? And then they proceeded to go winless the rest of the year, right? That was week 12 of last season. The Titans followed that up with a game in Washington. That was that 42-19 game. It was over by halftime. So a lot of eyes are going to be on how they respond to this game against potentially a favorable opponent in Vegas. But that's a conversation for later. 615-737-1045 is how you jump in. Back to the phones. Tyler is up next. Hey, Tyler.
Hey, good morning, guys. Happy Victory Monday.
Yes, sir. What you got?
Yeah, well, I do like the assessment that you guys talked about Cam Ward, and I watched the game yesterday. I just looked at overall how he did, and I thought for the second half, felt he did like a much better job of doing like the simple throws, right? Because early on that first half, it kind of felt that he was making, those aggressive throws that we've normally seen him doing, trying to fit in the tight windows. But I think in the second half, I think he just did a much better job of taking what the defense gave him and using that to his advantage. And especially it was shown on that final drive where he made 2 check downs to Tony Pollard to start the drive, and then a simple, curl route to Gunnar Helm for the first down. And then obviously I was watching the rest of the game, and all of a sudden I said, at some point Cam's going to need to throw a deep one. And lo and behold, he did to Calvin Ridley, which, by the way, it's about darn time that the Cam to Calvin connection finally started to get going.
Yeah, thanks for the call, Tyler. Breakout game for Calvin Ridley in 2025. Ironically, Robert, the drive that I thought was most impressive for the Titans during that comeback, obviously you had the 80-yard series after the Arizona touchback, the fumble out the back of the end zone by DeMercado. Titans marched 80 yards in 6 plays. That included the 47-yarder to Calvin Ridley, longest offensive play of the season. As we mentioned, it ended up setting the Tony Pollard touchdown up. A nice drop in the bucket as well for Gunnar Helm on that drive from Cam Ward after the Calvin Ridley deep ball that got it deeper into Cardinals territory. But for me, the type of drive that we just haven't seen from the Titans in such a long time was the one that ended in the tipped ball interception that was fumbled and then recovered by Lockett for a touchdown. That's an 8-play drive that traveled 61 yards. So a shorter distance than the 80-yard series that won the game, and then, of course, the 71-yard series that ended up in the game-winning field goal. But 11 yards here, 12 yards there, and the Titans were able to just dink and dunk their way across the field. Okonkwo making people miss. Tony Pollard picking up first downs in the run game. That drive that wasn't boosted by a deep ball X play felt like finally, right? Finally, the Titans did something to just progress, matriculate down the field. We haven't seen that one time this season. And it ends in an interception, and it looks like it ends in disaster. And then once again, the Titans hit the lottery on the Cardinals fumble, where he's not touched down. He lets go of the football. It gets kicked around into the end zone, and Tyler Lockett lands on it. Buck is here so we can explain to him the rules of the National Football League, that you have to be touched in order to be ruled down. So looking forward to that. But for me, that was the most impressive drive of the day for the Titans, and it didn't include either of the deep balls from Cam Ward to Calvin Ridley.
Yeah, because it's the consistency, right? Like maybe he does hit an impressive throw to Ironmaner, or maybe he does hit an impressive throw to whoever on the offense, but they're not able to follow that up and connect down the field to get a touchdown. But in this game, at least, and even in the final drive, I thought that was super impressive, how they were able to just, again, to use your word, your SAT word there, matriculate down the field. That was nice. Buck.
Good morning.
I have been spreading lies that you were fired for reappropriating cash to offshore funds. So this is upsetting.
Isn't that the idea that you gave me? We're going to start AI generating expense report receipts.
Stop that! Why would you say it out loud? Why would you do that?
There was a whole Washington Post investigation on that I sent you the other day. They're already on to you.
They're never going to.
The game has already been given up.
They've already given me the money. Why would you do that? All my receipts are real.
I said they are, so they must be. Good morning. That was something.
How about the Titans, man? Matriculating. They matriculated.
Well, it wasn't even matriculating as much as chunk plays down the field in the fourth quarter. Like, he was great.
Well, that's what we were talking about. The drive that actually ends up in the interception, fumbled, and then turns into a Titans touchdown. That was a matriculatory drive. We
Matriculation was nuts.
Matriculatory drive.
We've been waiting for that all season.
Look at you. You're
just
glowing.
Chip away. Just step down the field.
You've got like a kind of pregnancy glow about you today.
Right.
Is this all it takes? A little charity from the Arizona Cardinals to lift your spirits?
Well, you know what? Sometimes
a charity game.
Some stuff gets handed
got
to
away
you.
with one in the desert.
You still got to take it.
Oh, sure.
You still got to take it from
Sure
them.
enough. That was an awful game for 3 quarters, and then so much fun at the end. And to their credit, I mean, God knows they needed it. Brian Callahan, somebody made the joke in the press conference waiting for Brian Callahan. Is he going to cry after this one? And I was pleased to see that he did not get overly emotional. Though the locker room, as we were waiting for Brian Callahan, sounded like they won the damn Super Bowl.
Of course it did.
Oh, no. I mean, I don't want to do that yet. But it was something, like everything was written, right? I'm sure you were watching it here or wherever you sit during Titans games thinking that they were dead in the water because it was 21-6 basically the whole way through. I was thinking about where I was going to go to dinner in Scottsdale later that evening because this is just another wasted Sunday. On to the next. Sad boy locker room, sad boy radio the following. And then Amari DiMercato does the unthinkable. Literally, the Titans do the unthinkable. The title worked.
That's the title of the show today.
Worked.
It's literally the YouTube title today.
Finally, we got one. The Titans do the unthinkable. It's really the Cardinals do the unthinkable in this particular situation. So there's two things that looked different from our vantage point in the press box. And also to hear the players in the locker room tell it to us afterwards, it seems that it wasn't exactly the same way that it played out. One was the touchback fumble situation with DiMercato, where it looked from our vantage point in the press box like Snead punched the ball out because Snead's arm comes up as you see the ball start to jar loose from DiMercato. We asked Snead about it in the locker room yesterday. He said, I absolutely impacted the ball. The TV copy would indicate that that was not quite the case, but whatever. Great hustle play. Take what you can get. Like I said, doesn't matter if it's charity. It's a win is a win.
But doesn't that kind of encapsulate this game, right? Like, Titans were right there to take advantage. Snead was on the cusp of making that play. He's there.
Yeah.
But in the end, it is the Cardinals who lose the football. Like, DiMercato, you're right. Snead didn't touch the ball.
Well, but we thought we did. We thought all the way through last night until I went back to the hotel room.
Oh, really?
Because the players in the locker room were telling us that he did. So it was a little confusing. And then we get to, everybody's screaming at me in the comment section about the fact that we thought, Paul Teran and I all thought that the defensive back, what's the name of the defensive back that picked off Cam that fumbled? I don't have the guy's name in front of me.
Oh.
But you know who I'm talking about. It's a hyphenated last name.
Yeah, Taylor Demerson.
Yes, that guy. So 3 of us out of the 5 of us that made the trip thought he got touchdown in the press box. He didn't get touchdown. So, I was loud about it on Twitter. People freaked out, whatever. Saw it incorrectly. Understand that he was not touchdown, so it was still a live ball.
So you do understand the rules that in the NFL you have to be touched.
Yeah. I know it's not the college football rule. Okay. It's just that we didn't see it.
Okay. I 90% believe you.
Okay, yes, he's very familiar with the rules.
Yeah. The door is just cracked.
Just slightly.
Door is just cracked that he didn't actually know what the
Did you not pick it up? I tried to do the Callahan thing. Buck is very...
You misinterpreted it, I thought.
Yes, you misinterpreted it, but you are very familiar with the rules.
Yeah. We just saw it incorrectly.
Sure, yep. That you did, yeah.
So that ended up working in their favor. Tyler Lockett seemed to be in as much disbelief as everybody else involved with that situation. And then the DiMercato fumble. So there was a couple of different things that looked different from the vantage point of the press box that actually took place in the television copy, obviously.
Can I ask you, what's the point of you being there if you're going to see everything differently? You thought Snead punched the ball out, and you thought the guy was so obviously down.
Lucas, if I'm talking to L'Jarius Snead, he's like, I absolutely impacted the ball. What am I going to do? Say, liar.
It's just funny. Like, those things were so apparent just on the TV copy.
Well, but I think that, that speaks to a couple of different things. It speaks to why refs get a lot of things wrong. It speaks to how coaches can get things wrong, because it looks infinitely different to us at the game, and I'm sure to some people in the stands, than it does to people with 7,000 television angles. But either way, however it happened, it happened. The win probability, I'm sure you've talked about, outrageous, the way that it swung from one way to another.
Robert just told us before you got here that the Titans win in Miami a couple years ago actually had a lower win probability at one point than 1.8%.
Because Suss actually looked over joking as he was tweeting out what else was on television that day. Because it wasn't just me yesterday that was piling on. Literally, Nick Suss put out a couple of different things like Uncle Buck on IFC, Buffy the Vampire reruns on TNT, like other things to watch during your time if you were tired of Titans Cardinals.
It's not just me, I promise. It's not just me, I swear.
Buddy, that's where it was. Getting ready for 0-5, everybody was just like, all right, enough of this.
The other kids were doing it too. They made me. I got peer pressure.
No, I'm the ringleader on that front. Wouldn't ever be accused of being peer pressured, just peer pressuring people to, crap on bad football as much as I do. But it was still bad football. That's the thing. Like, I don't want to come in here and urinate on Victory Monday, but like, I don't think it changes anything other than Cam had a good day as opposed to having a bad day because he has a bad 3 quarters and then a great fourth quarter, and it saved their ass.
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, but that is something that is different. Cam Ward and the offense coming alive at any point, however they were given the opportunity to do so, right? Of being in a game and then taking advantage of being in the game.
When they got 1 yard, literally 1 yard after that big Chimere DK return, I was just like, all right, what are we even doing here?
No, it felt like it was headed right down that road. It felt like a carbon copy of the Texans game, except Joey Sly made his field goals in the first half.
Well, and so I didn't watch the TV copy all the way to the end on the Sly field goal. Did he almost miss it? Because I saw some tweets about it was looking like it was a bit fraught.
Slightly pushed, but he got it in there. Talking
And how about
the game
Brian
winner?
Callahan with the ball don't lie moment, sending Sly out there to kick the extra point, knowing damn well he should have gone for 2, even though he said after the fact he shouldn't have gone for 2, and Sly missing the extra point. What just a ridiculous game that was.
I mean, I know that's the analytical play, but I was not in the moment a slam dunk. You have to go for 2 here, right? It's a 1-possession game and go for 2 when you have to go for 2.
That's fine, but press box was immediately in consensus. What is he doing? Go for 2. Just like all these 4th down calls he wasn't going for after going for it on 4th and 10. It was just, again,
yes.
I don't think they're any different today than they were yesterday for 3 quarters of football. I just think that the Cardinals pooped the bed harder than they did. And finally, Calvin Ridley shows up, and finally Cam Ward kind of shakes off whatever was bogging him down for 3 quarters because he was objectively terrible. Lucas, we were literally, the questions that I had written down were fourth down decision making. Would you consider not benching, but pulling Cam Ward for his own sake because he looks like he's drowning out there?
And it wasn't even the pass rush. It's not like he was getting swallowed up.
No, he's just bad.
Yeah, he was just missing guys. It just looked off kilter, out of rhythm.
And they in a quarter of football, they rewrote everything, at least for that game's sake. So we can talk about the rest of this as we work our way through. Ben Jones will be here. Brett Kern will be here, I'm sure, as Lucas has mentioned. And we'll continue to take your phone calls. Titans win 22-21 in Arizona. 615-737-1045. I'm Buck Rising. It's 1045 The Zone. The Tennessee Men's Clinic is here to help you if you're struggling with performance issues. Erectile dysfunction can wreck your confidence. It can impact your relationship, your mental health, and even your sense of identity. But there's good news. There's real help. Since 2014, the Tennessee Men's Clinic has helped thousands of guys get back to feeling like themselves. These aren't cookie-cutter treatments. The Tennessee Men's Clinic is urology-based and staffed with multiple licensed providers who specialize in men's sexual health. They use proven treatments tailored to your specific situation. No one size fits all. Whether you're dealing with mild or moderate ED, performance issues, or even conditions like Peyronie's disease, their medical team will work with you to create a plan that gets results, often with options most men didn't even know were out there. Your initial appointment is only $99 and includes a full medical consultation, blood work, and if medically advised, a test dose right there in the office. So call today at 615-208-9090. That's 615-208-9090 or book easily online at TennesseeMen'sClinic.com. That's Titans Radio. Taylor Zarzer, Coach Dave McGinnis on the call. That's Chimere Dike, 65-yard return. That's the thing that was as frustrating about the first three quarters as anything was Lucas, again, they continue to get excellent field position from their special teams.
Oh, yeah.
We were talking amongst ourselves up in a press box at State Farm Stadium. First time I've done a game there. I wasn't traveling when we did that 2017 three-game road trip that the Titans left 7-3, came back 7-7.
Yeah,
7-6.
First ever Titans win at the Arizona Cardinals.
Yeah, it was a beautiful stadium. Awesome scene for the game. It was not a very well-attended game. Cardinals fans not overwhelmingly passionate. First time I've been at a Titans game that the Titans weren't the ones being booed because people were booing vigorously.
Yeah.
The decision to run the ball on the third down where the Cardinals still had an opportunity to seal the game, leading 21-19 at that point in time.
It was a 3rd and 8 on their own 35.
And I get it because they only have the one timeout, but they also had the 2-minute warning if you're talking about the Titans. So the rare game management situation in favor of Brian Callahan, even if he did have some miscues throughout the course of that game. We mentioned specifically in the last segment his fourth down decision making, and then the extra point versus 2-point conversion decision.
DK's kick returns have quietly stacked up to where he's leading the league in all-purpose yards. He has 783 all-purpose yards. That's 114 yards more than number 2 in that department, who is Christian McCaffrey. You look at the top 5.
Yeah, no, I mean, if he was on a team that more people paid attention to, he'd probably get a Pro Bowl nod out of it.
It's McCaffrey, Nakua, Kevontae Turpin, one of the best returners in the league, Jonathan Taylor, Bijan Robinson, just going down this list. Some of the best players in the league, and there's Chimere Dike leading the league in all-purpose.
615-737-1045 is how you jump in. You can do so throughout the course of the show. Today, let's go to Paul in Donaldson.
Hey, guys. Thanks for taking my call.
Sure.
Hey, let's forget about all this, what we should have did, what we can do. We went out there and got a win. It doesn't matter how it was ugly. I know it was so ugly, but I don't even care. Titans, if people want to get on Cam Ward, I know that I think, let's see here, Peyton Manning only won one game his rookie year. And they talked about how he couldn't do some things and what he wasn't seeing. We got to leave Cam alone. He's going to be just fine. Decision-making by the coaches is still an issue, I believe. Hey, and sometimes I'd rather be lucky than good. So, hey, let's go Titans. And Simmons was the man yesterday. But I only want to talk positive stuff out of this. And y'all have a great day. Thanks for taking my call.
Thank you for the call, Paul.
He sounded like me in college. Oh, God, it was ugly, but it just felt good to get a win.
Well, you have a better chance at being lucky than you do good. Yes, I know. You made a joke about sex. Well done by you.
No.
Well done
He's
by
talking
you.
about his ECU.
Yeah, come on, man.
He's talking about his ECU is how Lucas just tried to come back with that.
Yes, in my Greenville.
Yes, my ECU.
In my North Carolina.
What?
Jeffrey Simmons, 1.5 sacks, couple of QB hits.
That Jeff was
TFL.
great. No, I mean, listen, you got a better chance of being lucky than you do good right now. I don't think anything about them changes just because they won yesterday. But yeah, you're allowed to do that. You're allowed to get lucky in the NFL. The thing that has been as irritating about them as anything is that they just keep themselves from getting as lucky as just your average NFL team. The Saints won yesterday. The Jets are the only winless team left in the NFL. The only team through 5 weeks of an NFL season without a turnover. Is that since the merger? I saw that stat yesterday.
Who doesn't have a turnover?
The Jets don't have a turnover.
They haven't forced a turnover.
They have not forced a turnover.
Meanwhile, go ahead, Robert.
Did you see? I told Lucas this other stat today. Justin Fields has never won a game in which the opponent scores 21 points or more.
Just a glaring indictment. That's insane.
Oh, God.
Meanwhile, how about the Titans in the green on turnover margin after yesterday? +1. +1, baby.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, what was that number after 5 weeks last year? -7 or something like that?
Yeah, I mean, Cam Ward's tip drill, then interception.
Which still goes down as a turnover, but then the Cardinals just turn it right back over.
He doesn't get credit for a touchdown. That's just
No, that's an interception.
Tyler Lockett's first Titans touchdown coming the same way as Traylon Burks' Well, no, Treylon did have a receiving touchdown to his credit in Philadelphia. I can't remember. It was a Texans Derrick Henry fumble that he recovered.
It was the Bengals game.
Was it a Bengals game? Okay. Either way, just a ridiculous game. But yeah, I mean, listen, nobody can take away a good feeling from you. A good feeling is something that they desperately needed. God knows. Will they build on it? I'm not. We'll see. Like, Vegas is looking at you the same way that you're looking at Vegas, right? Like, oh, here's a 1-4 team coming to town. We can get right. Just as you're looking at Vegas, be like, oh, Geno Smith can't stop throwing interceptions. We can get right against that guy. So I wouldn't get too far ahead of ourselves as far as what this means for the future. And something I want to touch on later, Lucas, and we can talk about it with Ben because he'll be in studio coming up next, is the way that Cam Ward handled that win. Did you watch the postgame press conference?
We carried it on the Titans Radio Locker Room Report.
The thing that pleased me most beyond the way that he performed in the fourth quarter was the way that he handled everything after the fact. So we will cross that bridge here in about 10 minutes when Ben Jones does join us. Back to the phones. In the meantime, Jacob is in St. Louis.
How's it going, Buck? Listen, I'm sincerely hoping you get the call today or this week that's like, I told you, I knew it, because I feel like every time we go, I don't know, a butt fumble or a Mariota throw to himself, they're like, oh, you guys just didn't believe. But
I got plenty of that in the locker room, walking into a celebratory post-game locker room last night. Don't you worry.
Well, that's kind of leading to the question, because I remember watching exactly what you guys thought. I was like, this needs some Benny Hill music. You can't make this stuff up. But kind of like where Callahan's hands are tied, where when he was thinking it up, I don't know, 10 games in a row, and it was just the same regurgitated stuff. I also know he can't exactly, flex too hard. But even without the mic on, I'd be curious, did he have this swagger attitude like, yeah, I told you guys, even though you're like, I mean, even a broken clock's right twice a day. So, I'll hang up and listen. I just was curious because he seems like he had the, yeah, told you guys so.
No, Brian wasn't like that. His voice was, I saw somebody in the chat point out his voice was a full octave higher in the post-game press conference. I think he was just like relieved. The way that Brian Callahan has been described to me is he's not going to hold it against you, but he'll remember what you say about him. And that's fine. Like, he's welcome to. He was on the verge of losing 11 straight games for the first time in the Titans era yesterday. His win yesterday technically gives him a better win percentage than Ken Wisenhunt, but we're still talking in Ken Wisenhunt terms. So I'm completely respectful of that. Whatever it takes to motivate you to perform better, to coach better, God help me, to play better, all these different things. I don't care. Like, just do your jobs better and show us something, just like after the Patriots game. After the games that they won last year, what did we say? All right, just show us something. Show us something after. Do it again. I love it for you that you did it in real time. Do it again. All right, Ben Jones will join us. More phone calls to take, more Titans football to talk. A celebration for them, 22-21 in Arizona yesterday. I'm Buck Rising. It's 104.5 The Zone. Lake lovers, listen up. Tennessee National Lakefront Resort Golf and Marina Community is releasing a brand new phase of lake lots. One day only, Saturday, October 18th. You can get a cottage package with a boat slip from $379,900. Home sites with 40 miles of views and covered boat slip from $99,900. Move-in ready homes and custom builds. Lot sizes up to 7 acres. Private golf cart access to a new marina and resort. 10 miles of walking trails, 3.5 miles of shoreline. A brand new 26,000 square foot clubhouse. Water waterfront concerts, pickleball, pools, on-site coffee shop, and much more. Play on the lake or simply relax at the Waterfront Restaurant just over 20 minutes from Knoxville, Tennessee. Financing is available. Celebrate the lake life and make memories. This limited property release, October 18th. Visit TennesseeNational.com or call 865-408-9992. Memories begin here at Tennessee National.
Yeah, 11:01. Good morning from the 104.5 The Zone Studios. I'm Lucas Panzica. The Titans trailed 21-6 in the second half, but charged back with 16 straight points to win 22-21. A walk-off field goal by Joey Sly from 29 yards in a wild fourth quarter at the Arizona Cardinals. Arizona fumbling out of the back of the end zone on a 72-yard run. A Cam Ward interception turned into a fumble that turned into a Titans touchdown, and the Titans escape with their first win of the season, their first ever win at the Arizona Cardinals in the Titans era. Head coach Brian Callahan will meet with the media coming up at 2:30. Cam Ward finishes the day 21 of 39, 265 yards, no touchdowns, and the interception that somehow turned into a Titans touchdown. Tonight, Week 5 wraps up with the Jacksonville Jaguars playing host to the Kansas City Chiefs. Monday Night Football kickoff at 7:15. You can hear the Westwood One call right here on The Zone. For all your foundation repairs and waterproofing needs, visit USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Titans and Vols. This is 104.5 The Zone.
Second hour is upon us. Ben Jones is in studio, which makes us happy. Titans winning makes Ben Jones happy. Hey, buddy. What's up?
Man, great day. Great day.
Yeah.
We're back.
Oh, are you?
We're back.
Are you back? Super Bowl back on?
We're back, guys.
Is that what we're doing? Okay. At 1-4, Super Bowl back on for the Tennessee Titans, 22-21. Out west in the desert. A couple of things breaking in their favor. They did their best to not take advantage of a few of them, but were able to rally back at the very last. And the young quarterback, Benjamin, showing us something there late.
Yeah, it wasn't pretty for the first 3 quarters, but when we needed it, he came through for us. He got the ball out of his hand quick. Yeah, it looked like he felt comfortable. He was getting the ball out to the tight ends. They were making plays for him. And I was like, man, we're actually having drives here. He looks comfortable, and Arizona just didn't want to win. And we appreciate y'all. We'll take anything you'll give us here. We'll take any win you want to. If you don't want to win, we'll take them. We'll take every one you want to give us.
Have you ever been a part of something like that?
Even charity win? Surely you've been a part of a charity win.
I mean, just the
career.
wackiness of it, just generally. The fumble going off Kyler's face mask, an interception turned into fumble, turned into touchdown, the touchback.
Which quickly, were they treating that like Kyler got a concussion from the snap?
No, he went in. Because he went into the locker room after that.
He was dealing with a foot injury is what they reported in the press box.
Yeah.
But I got a bunch of texts like, did Kyler really get a concussion from the football? Like people were treating it like Kyler got hit too hard.
No. He dove back into the pile to try to recover the football, and I guess picked something up and was in the locker room for 2 seconds and came back out. But
anyway,
have you ever been a part of anything that even remotely resembles the craziness of yesterday's fourth quarter?
I don't know. That was nuts. The turn of it, you're about to go down, was it 27-6?
Yeah.
And everything just flips, and literally Arizona couldn't do anything right. And it was beautiful. You catch a pick, we'll get right back to you for a touchdown. Everything possible went right for us right there at the end of the game. And hey, the ball was just in our favor. So I'm happy. We needed it. We needed it as fans, ex-players. It's finally yes, we got to win. It is possible. We are winners now.
The football gods looking down on the Titans yesterday.
Don't make eye contact with me and say that they are winners.
Winners.
Now.
We're winning.
By definition today.
I can tell you definitively that Ben Jones, at least in his Titans career, was never a part of anything like that because this courtesy of Titans PR. The Titans overcame a 15-point deficit in the fourth quarter to win. Yesterday, it was the team's largest fourth-quarter comeback in a victory since a 21-point comeback to defeat the New York Giants 24-21 on November the 26th, 2006. Since the 1970 merger, the only other game won by the Titans franchise after trailing by 15 or more points in the fourth quarter was November 1st, 1987, when the team erased a 15-point margin to win 31-29.
Who was the quarterback on that day in 2006, Buck?
Would that have been, that would have been still McNair, right?
Wrong. VY's rookie year.
It was VY?
And so VY and Cam Ward are now the only rookie quarterbacks in the NFL since the year 2000 to orchestrate 15-point comebacks in the fourth quarter.
It wasn't just him, though. To Calvin Ridley's credit, he finally showed up. But I don't want to wipe away all the bad Calvin Ridley stuff just because Calvin Ridley had a big game. So let's talk about this thing first, Ben. I was very impressed with the offensive line play yesterday. That's not something that I could say for basically the first 4 weeks. What did you see?
Yeah, they played well. It was a game where they have a dude over there. They have Sweat, and it was a game they gave him time. It wasn't a game the O-line couldn't block him. We did our job.
Yeah.
He didn't show up really on the stat sheet anywhere. We handled our business. We gave him time when everybody in that whole stadium knew we had to pass because we were down 21-6. And that's what an O-line's supposed to do. You're supposed to fly under the radar. Nobody's supposed to talk about you and go on and get a win. And when everybody knows you got to pass and you can hold up, it shows us, hey, we're building, and we just got to keep it going 1 week at a time. 1 week at a time. We got promise, guys. We got some faith in there. Bucks not want to hear it, but hey,
no, it's
we
not
got
that
to
I
win.
Want to hear it? It's just that I don't want to treat it like they've solved all their problems.
They haven't, and hey, but winning does fix some things. hey, you can take a little breath of fresh air.
Sure.
You can sleep in today and wake up and like, man, we won.
You don't have to talk to us on a Monday.
No doubt.
The punishment to talk if you lose is the players have to talk to the media on Monday.
At 2019, we were 2-4. They made the transition to Tannehill. We were on the 1-yard line, about to lose to the Chargers. They fumbled. And that kind of skyrocketed us from then on. Like, hey, if we'd have lost that game, we'd have been 2-5. Tannehill wasn't the answer. Like, hey, everybody would have been still on us. You need wins. Wins mean something, and I always say winning is contagious. So hopefully they catch a big bug of it and get sick for a while. So I would love to see them win some more games right here and just kind of roll off of this.
Well, and I think to your point, like the thing that has been killing them the most is the fourth quarter, and that's when they decided to show a pulse yesterday.
Absolutely.
16-0.
That's big. You win the fourth quarter, you have a lot. You can win games if you turn it on at the end. Yes, you can just keep it close, and that's what we always used to say. Hey, if you win the fourth quarter, no matter what, you have a chance to win the game.
I mean, some games prove the theory, right, of momentum being real. There's people that will say that it's not a real thing. It's not a tangible thing you can talk about. But you use that word all the time. And I don't know how you can watch this game with how poorly things were going. Ben, they didn't have a first down in the third quarter. It was 3 and out after 3 and out after 3 and out. And it's amazing how one play, one mistake from the opponent can light a fire under a football team to look like a completely different unit for the last 12 minutes of a game.
Yeah, that's when watching them the past 3 or 4 games, you're like, hey, we got to have some momentum plays. Like, hey, is it going in before half? Do you kick it and get momentum? Or do you punt it and let your defense hold it out? We just needed some momentum, and we haven't had that literally the whole year. We can't get anything going. Anything that was going right, we'd find a way to mess it up by missing field goals or not doing it or turning it over. And somebody else gave us some momentum, and we took advantage of it. And finally, we did what we were supposed to do. We played complimentary football. Hey, they turn it over, we score. Hey, they go 3 and out, we go down and score again. That's what winning football looks like. And hopefully they just transition and just play like that fourth quarter for the rest of the season.
Just as simple as that. Defenders keep dropping those picks, baby.
Yes. Give it back to us. Nah, we don't want the ball. Y'all have it. Y'all deserve a touchdown here.
It's the way that it got kicked around by 10 different
Literally,
Cardinals.
yakety sax had to have been playing in the stadium in the background.
It's like a magnet was in that ball. Nope. We're going to move this ball around.
They were celebrating the U.S. Open Cup final win at Geodis Park, a bunch of soccer fans, about the same time that the Cardinals were playing soccer with the football, and Tyler Lockett recovered it.
Well, the thing is, and we talked about this with Nashville SC, right? With their late season slump and the way that they responded to come back and win the U.S. Open Cup. We talked about this with Tennessee versus Mississippi State, how the defense didn't necessarily play well, but in the fourth quarter and into the overtime period, they stood up, right? It's how you respond when you are tested. And Ben, like, I'm sitting there, as the game goes on, I'm writing down questions for the press conference, things to ask the coach, things to ask the players. And I'm like, where's the response? Like at 21-6 through 3 quarters of football, where's the response? And then the DeMercado touchback situation, and they rattle off their longest touchdown drive of the year, an 80-yard drive. I think they had a 77-yarder against the Colts late in that game after the game was pretty well out of hand. But it was 76 or 77. I can't remember exactly. Either way, 80-yard touchdown drive was the longest scoring drive of their season. It was the way that they finally responded, which gives you some kind of, all right, is this an indication that this can be one of these, for lack of a better term, football core memories? Cam Ward's going to remember that moment as a defining moment of his career. One would think these guys are going to remember, I think Titans fans, this will be embedded in their memories for quite some time because of just purely the absurdity of the way that you won that game. But that's a 1-game sample size. Now you have another 1-game sample size. So how do you were a part of many winning locker rooms.
Yeah.
How do you compartmentalize where you're dealing with, where you got a lot of vets, but there are also a lot of young players on this roster, a lot of guys who don't have the baggage of last year. How do you compartmentalize and push forward to the next?
Yeah, you go in there and you say, hey, it wasn't pretty for 3 quarters, but we found a way to win. Now we know what it feels like to win. We know how to do it. Let's transition to another week this week. We're going to Las Vegas. This is a very winnable game. If we do what we're supposed to do like we did in that fourth quarter, we can come home with 2 straight road wins where everybody was counting us out and getting to come back home here. So this is a big week. We need this one. We need to go on the road and go back-to-back and win this one.
I want to go ahead, Lucas.
Well, we need to think of something, Robert. We need to put our heads together and think of a phrase that this win should be referred to as. You know,
the charity game.
But gonna go negative with it.
I'm sorry. What would you like to call it, you homer?
Any alliteration that you got in the back of your mind?
Taylor would say it was very spooky. Lawan. It was a
spooky win.
A spooky win for the Titans.
Oh yeah. Got spooky at State Farm Stadium.
Don't like that one. Spooky at State Farm. No, don't like that
Robert
one.
doesn't like it.
No, don't like that one at all.
It was very spooky for the Ravens.
Oh, no.
No one wants to deal with a plumbing, HVAC, or electrical emergency. Most of the time, you don't know what it will cost you or if it'll get fixed correctly or if somebody's just trying to sell you something. When you call Hiller Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electrical, their experts are going to solve your problems quickly. The price you're told is the price you'll actually pay. There's no hidden fees or surprises on your bill. Hiller has been in business for over 35 years and is family owned and operated. Their techs are professional, experienced, and trustworthy. When they're on their way, you'll receive a photo of the tech and a link to track them in real time. No more wasting time waiting around. 100% satisfaction guarantee of happy you'll be or the service is free. That's the Happy Hiller promise. So book online now at happyhiller.com. That's happyhiller.com. Ben Jones is here. We will take your phone calls. Lucas asked the question. How did you phrase it?
What should the Titans' comeback win in Arizona be dubbed? What should it be referred to as? And we've already got some good submissions here. The F&M Bank chat saying the Desert Donation is good. DTAG716 on YouTube.
We had a caller who would like to submit the line of DeMarcado game. That was Chauncey in chat.
That's not real.
That's really good.
Is that somebody who actually called us and said that?
Yeah. It was Chauncey. Shout out Chauncey. Appreciate you listening, brother.
The line of DeMarcado.
Big bill ups to him.
That is really good. That is really good.
You deserve more credit for that joke than you're going to get. Robert back there in protest because Ben made fun of his Ravens. One of us. 1 and 4. One of us. Look at him.
Don't do that to him.
615-737-1045. Speaking of Arizona, RJ is in Phoenix. No, Robert's out of the studio, so I can't hear RJ.
Oh, he left. Zach, could you pot up the phone? Zach has no idea what he's looking at. I think it's blue. Just move, pot it up.
Uh-oh. We're gonna find out together.
RJ, do we have you?
No, we don't.
No, Zach potted up the wrong thing.
I'm going to put RJ back on hold. We'll take RJ's call when Robert joins us again in the studio. Stop hitting buttons. Get away from the board.
Oh, man.
So, actually, Zach, go get Robert because I have to play some audio here. Brat. Let me hear from Cam Ward, please, for Ben Jones before we do take phone calls, because this was my favorite Cam Ward moment beyond the comeback that he helped lead.
Oh, man, Coach Nick was right. He lost his voice today. He was so happy. But I think that was the biggest one, just seeing him. He stuck to it. He told us he was going to get a win, and he's going to be the most excited person in the locker room. He was. So I just think it just meant something to everybody for us to finally get a win, finally know what it feels like. But we all know we got a new team next week. We play against a very talented Raider team, and, we just got to try to go in their place and win.
All right, so the question to him was, hey, can you just give us a little insight on how excited you were to win your first game? And Ben, the thing that I enjoy about Cam Ward, the thing that I think is going to equip him well to be able to handle all the different things that he's going to deal with week in, week out, is that it wasn't indifference, right? He understands that it's important to people, but that it was not this huge deal to him because he expects to win games. That's the kind of raising the standard of what the Titans have been the last couple of years that you can see from a 23-year-old in his first opportunity at this, that I really think speaks highly of Cam, that he just kind of shrugged it off and said, yeah, we have to go do it again.
Absolutely. Everybody was looking to him. What is he going to say? He got his first win. How excited is he going to be? And he said exactly what he needed to say. He wasn't satisfied with just one. He's a winner. That's what we drafted him for. He was here to change the culture. He's a guy who's a leader in that locker room, and he is going to be that difference maker that we're going to come back and talk to from years on and be like, hey, this guy is not satisfied with not being perfect. He's not satisfied with just one. He wants to win multiple games on top of each other, just back to back to back. That's why he's here, and he is the reason why the Titans have a chance in the future.
And he was the thing that gave them the chance yesterday, right? I mean, obviously the miscues by the Cardinals opened the door just slightly, but Cam Ward had to go out there and kick the door down. And that's what he and Calvin Ridley, and to Chig's credit, I thought Chig made a couple of nice plays there yesterday. Down the stretch, I thought they were running the ball well early in the game on that opening field goal drive, and then they got away from it, or the game got away from them in ways that kind of took the backs out of it a little bit. But I thought it was a nice response by everybody. And it's a tough spot for Tony Pollard. He had the fumble in that game as well. But again, the response is the thing that you are most impressed with. Even if you try not to extrapolate too much meaning from one game. Let's see how they respond. And I think Cam Ward has the correct mindset to be able to help guide them to that response. 615-737-1045 is how you jump in. All right, are we ready for RJ in Phoenix? Robert, if you would be so kind as to fade the phone lines up for me. RJ, are you there?
What's going on, Buck? How you doing, man?
I'm good.
Listen, Buck is the man of the people. He came down, took pictures with some guys, shook my hand, took time out of his schedule. I went back to my seat. They was like, you know Buck Riley? I said, yeah, we talk from time to time. I know him or whatnot. Great win. They never gave up. After every series, I saw Dan Moore come. It's a view I never had before. Dan Moore coming and talk to his guys. They care. Cam talking to Ridley after every series, getting on the same page. The fans around me, I was in hostile territory. It was a lot of Tennessee Titans fans there, man.
Yeah,
we tightened up yesterday. We tightened up. We was in the building. And the Cardinals fan, they was just talking crap. I said, it's the Cardinals. Just wait. And, oh, man, when we got that field goal at the end, it felt so great, man. I got a year. I'm validated. I can wear my Titan stuff out here in Phoenix, Arizona for another year. Because no matter how bad we are, we beat y'all. Tighten up.
Thank you for the call, RJ. It was good to see you yesterday.
You're disgusting. You know that?
What did I do?
Paying fans to say things like that.
It only cost me a couple $100. No, RJ's been a caller for the show a long time. He DM'd me on Instagram, so I walked over to where he was sitting. Easy as that. The situation for the offensive line, Ben, and kind of that fight that they showed, the messaging from the coaching staff that's been tough to buy into, at least from an external perspective, is resilient and relentless. And I don't think I've ever had conversations, or Lucas, you can correct me if I'm wrong about this. I don't think we've had conversations about them quitting on the coach because they're professional athletes. They're expected to go out there and perform. And it feels like they do. They've just been bad at the execution part of it until late in the game yesterday. I think that the Snead hustle play, whether he actually impacted the ball or not, is evidence of that. I think Jeffrey Simmons is the definition of relentless, and I think that's good messaging for guys. And I think for Cam Ward to struggle the way that what did you make of Cam Ward's struggles through three quarters, and then to see the way that he turned it on, for lack of a better term? Is there a more technical or more analytical way that you viewed how Cam was performing versus what that fourth quarter became?
Yeah, you could see the momentum switch. Like, I feel like he was trying to get it in there, and it just wasn't going his way. Finally, we got some momentum in our way, and it felt like he just took a deep breath of air and like, all right, we got this. Stuff's going our way. Let's get the guys who are open, the ball, and let them make plays for us. I don't have to make every single play for this team. That's what he did. They got the ball to Chig right there by the line. He breaks a tackle. He makes a play. They get it to him again. Chig makes another play. Like, you don't have to make a unreal throw on everything. Give it to the guys who are open and let them do work with the ball after they get it.
Was there anything is that just it, that those things just started to work for them in the fourth quarter? Like, was there anything that they were getting away from? Because for my layman's eye, it didn't look like it, Ben. It just looked like he was kind of out of rhythm. He was just kind of missing guys, and whenever he was hitting guys, Alec Iomanner had a big third down drop, right?
Yep.
That ball over the middle on a third down, it's a little bit behind Tyler Lockett, but for me, that's a drop, right? Yeah. Lockett's a veteran guy. He's there for your young quarterback to lean on. It hits him in the chest, and I know he's turning. But is it that simple that they just kind of started to tune up the things that they were off the mark on through three quarters?
Yeah, it's hard. Momentum was key. Like, yes, he wasn't good early. Like, he wasn't putting the ball with, gives guys easy balls to catch, get them started, get them some confidence. So he wasn't making those throws early on. And I feel like, hey, he got a little breath of fresh air. Like, we had a chance. Like, at that point, we had nothing to lose. Like, we had nothing in our favor. And finally, we had the ball, started rolling everything, and he started making some plays. All it takes is one. Like, hey, we're going to get a ball out there to Chig. Let Chig make a play. All right, he gets a little more. You get a little rhythm. Next play. Oh, I'm going to complete another one to Chig. Like, you get a little rhythm. And that's what I always say to start the drive. Gets the guy some easy completions to get the first down. Once you get that, I feel like he's more comfortable. But if he's having to sit there in third and long, hasn't completed a pass yet, you're not setting him up for success. Like, find easy completions early in the drive, early in the game, get the ball out of his hands to guys you know you're going to be open because what coverage they're going to be in formation in a certain way. We haven't done that in the past, and that last half quarter, we did it. He got easy completions and made the plays he had to.
The other thing I loved that he said post-game, and I don't think, was a question, I can't remember who asked it, about his comfortability in that 2-minute situation. And
I think it was Suss.
Right. And he said, no, I want to live there. That's where I'm comfortable. We saw that yesterday. And the only other time we've even gotten a chance to see it this season was in week 1 in Denver when they get the ball down 8 And Cam threw dot after dot that Titans receivers couldn't hang on to. Calvin Ridley had a drop over the middle. Okonkwo had a catchable ball in that drive. And the Titans just unable to even get a first down and give themselves a chance in that game. But it was good to get another sample size of that, Ben, of when the moment matters most for a quarterback that they believed to be a gamer when they drafted him, for him to come alive in that moment. And then you work on the other stuff for the rest of the game. But that is such an encouraging thing. And I loved his answer to that, too, of saying, no, that's where I want to be.
So you need to, if that's where he wants to be, that's where he's most comfortable. Why aren't we doing that? Why aren't we on the ball more? Why aren't we taking this playbook, making it simpler, giving him code words, giving him different things, and getting him to simpler defense? That's what happens. When you go fast, in 2 minutes, you know what you're going to get? You're going to get cover 1 or 2. Any formation like that, their 2-minute plan, like, that's what I'm thinking. I'm like, all right, it's going to be cover 2. They're going to run games here. Oh, they're going to run press man here with a trail technique. Like, their defensive calls get so much simpler when you're on the ball going fast. Yes, if you get a stop or incomplete pass, you huddle. Yes, they're going to dial up a blitz and stuff like that. But a lot of teams go very vanilla in 2 minutes. So if you have a young quarterback, hey, let's do that a little more. Like, hey, let's start fast. Let's have some run plays out of it. Let's have a package that, hey, we're going to get our first down and we're going to go fast. So everything calms down for him on 3rd down and stuff like that. He likes it. Why not? Let's feed it to him. Like, hey, set the guy up for success.
Well, I have the answer to that for you, but I don't think you're going to like it. It's the same reason that they don't run RPOs with him anymore, even though he was hugely successful with them in college, because Cam on RPOs in that Denver game, he was getting passes tipped. In practice, he was getting passes tipped. Coaching staff got spooked a little bit about running it, so they stopped doing it. That's not a reason to stop doing it. From my perspective, I think that when he gets going in those moments, the coaching staff has less control, and that's not something that they're necessarily comfortable with, which is ridiculous as an explanation.
Yeah, you got to trust the guy. You got him here for a reason. You need to sit down and have those conversations with him, like, hey, when are you most successful? All right, it's a 2-minute situation, this is what we got to do better. This is where you're comfortable. Let's put you in more of these situations. Like, hey, if it's just going fast for 5 plays in the first half, like, hey, we're going to have a bunch of plays, and it sets us up for success, and we know what we're going to get so he can take shots. So find ways to make him comfortable and get him in a rhythm early in the game.
615-737-1045. Former Titan center Ben Jones hanging out with us. We can take your phone calls. Luke is in Clarksville.
Hey guys, happy Monday, and what a perfect Monday it is. Although 3 quarters were pretty ugly, but Buck fashionably late, Bert aka Brutus aka Bertus conspiring Buck's demise, and then Lucas meticulously memorizing matriculate as he, I guess, finds the dictionary app word for the day. But I just want to say, 3 quarters were really ugly. How can they get that 4th quarter look going forward? I mean, a lot of inaccurate passes, lots of drops. It just looked absolutely horrific, and then some miracles happen, and they win. And a win is a win, but going forward, how can they be more consistent, and will they? All right, thanks, guys. Bye.
Thank you for the call, Luke. I really like Cam's response, Ben, on like the meaning of the win for the coaching staff, because Cam, and he didn't do this in a way that would discredit the coaching staff or anything like that, but he's like, it's not really about the coaching staff. We're out there. Brian Callahan can't complete a pass for me. Like this is something that we have to have as much control over as humanly possible, because we have the ability to influence the results more than anything, which is, I think, speaking of what Lucas is talking about, his response on how comfortable he is in 2 minute and 4 minute. And in particular, can you help us understand what that looks like in real time from the offense's standpoint? Because I'm assuming that the plays are already called. It's just incumbent upon either you, who's checking something at the line of scrimmage or helping make protections or things like that, or the quarterback to be able to check out of what the calls already are. Like, help me understand more what that looks like from your Turn his mic on, Robert, if you would, please.
I got it.
Okay.
You talking about a 2-minute situation?
Yes.
So I've been in multiple offenses. So, like, when we had Terry Rubisky, he gave us nothing. Like, he literally just said, y'all go play. So me and Marcus would have the
That sounds about right, by the way.
We would have the whole game plan. Like, I was like, what is going on? Like, most people give you, so, like, say, and when we had Vrabel, it was literally all done by numbers. So, like, you get on the ball, and you would hear, say, 33. And for 33, gave us a protection, so that gave us 3 jet, and that gave the receivers the route. So they would just literally say it in there, and all Tannehill had to do was, hey, signal, hey, we're going to be in 3-by-1 or 2-by-2. He would do that. He would give them the number. The receivers knew the play. So really, it was all out of his hands. Like, yes, we could check some protections by pressure, but that was as simple as you can. We just went faster and made the defense communicate and get in the cover. But when we had Trubisky, we got nothing. Like, it was just like, turn off the mic. Y'all have fun, boys.
For a rookie quarterback.
So me and Marcus would be out there.
Wasn't a rookie, but still.
So the playoff game versus the Chiefs, when we came back and won, we got no play call the whole second half from Trubisky. He was just like, everybody was probably wondering, like, why are we calling draw on 1st and 10? Because we had to figure out a run to take care of a safety because we couldn't just run one back power the whole time because the safety was going to make the tackle. So we were just sitting like, all right, how are we going to fix this? All right, let's run draw so maybe it softens him up. It was to the point where we had other offensive linemen like, why are we running draw? I'm like, guys, I got to block this safety by not pulling a guard. So we're having to figure this out.
You're having to figure that out in real time.
Me and Marcus called the whole second half. Anytime we went no huddle with Trubisky, we called every play.
Oh, my goodness.
I remember Trubisky saying something to us in a media availability about, like, 80% of the offense is Mariota's legs. And me just looking around and be like, what does that even mean, Terry? Like, can you help explain that to me in a little greater detail? It's just like, we just let him go. Like, I thought he was joking when he said we just let him go out there and run around a little bit. No, literally, Ben, you're telling me that they would just go out there and run around.
Yeah, we'd sit there and be like, all right, how can we be successful? So we literally would be like, all right, he'd be like, I need a run. And I would just be like, hey, 632. 632 was power right for us. Or, hey, 634 was draw right. Or, hey, if we put the tight end this way, we can run weak zone this way. It was stressful.
It's a miracle, Marcus.
Look at your face.
The fact that Marcus had any level of success that he had here, going from Ken Wisenhunt to this situation is unbelievable.
That Joker studied so hard.
Marcus.
Yes, and like he was so dialed in with his receivers. They would have the amount of walkthrough meetings before games to get ready for that 2-minute situation because we were out there defending for ourselves. Everybody else was like, oh, this is great. I'm like, this is not great. You don't understand what you're putting us through right now. This is not great.
He said, you boys have fun.
What?
Y'all be safe now.
I have so much less sympathy for Malarkey after that game then because I don't know if that press conference ever got back to you guys. The Mike Malarkey press conference after the Chiefs win. Where we asked him, like, do you feel so? Because the stuff kept coming out after every round that you would advance. Mike Malarkey's in danger of losing his job.
Right.
It would come out. And then Malarkey played a nasty joke on Ian Rappaport after the fact, but that's a later conversation. Malarkey gets to the podium with us afterwards in Kansas City, and he's asked specifically about the rumors, do you feel supported by ownership? And he just freaks out, kind of like he just has a bit of a meltdown about, no, he doesn't feel supported, this, that, and the other, like all these different things. And now I have a little less sympathy for that man, knowing that you guys didn't have support out there and that Mike Malarkey is out there bitching and moaning about a lack of support, respectfully to Mike, who I enjoyed.
Yeah, he was good to me, but man, those situations we got put in, yes, it gave us a lot of freedom and we could roll, but we would have loved some guidance. Like, hey, give us 2 plays that you might want to think. When you have to call 30 or 40 plays by yourself, you only have like 5 you could possibly get to. Like,
I think you were better off, honestly. Knowing that now, knowing what I know about Terry Robisky before and now this, I think you were better off.
That's the funniest thing I've ever heard.
Yeah.
I wonder how often that happens. It's surely not as much anymore.
Man was just cashing a check. Just cashing a check.
Along for the ride.
You got a headset, so why don't we talk to him? So, like, you got a quarterback, you can talk to him until 15 seconds. Let's give him some ideas. Like, let's get in this formation and run this route. No, nothing. Just boop.
Amazing. And he knew how to use the headset, too, unlike Jerry Neuheisel, who still managed to call a game for UCLA to beat Penn State.
Great.
Live look at Ben Jones in Kansas City looking at Terry Robisky. What are you doing, Terry? Thanks for hanging out, Ben.
Absolutely.
Oh, man.
Former Titan center Ben Jones every Monday with us. Brett Kern will be in studio later. We'll take your phone calls next. I'm Buck Rising. It's 104.5 The Zone. How about that? From Ben Jones hanging out with us in studio. This is why we're grateful for Ben and Brett and Nate Washington, because there's just things that happen that you may think, you may speculate about, you may theorize, conspiracy theory, tinfoil hat type stuff. But when a former center tells you in a playoff game that the offensive coordinator just shut his headset off and said, yeah, go get them, boys, and you win that game because the quarterback catches a touchdown pass to himself and Marcus Mariota and Ben Jones are calling an entire second half of offense to themselves. I mean, can you imagine? I don't know. Is there what situation would even be remotely comparable to something like that? I couldn't find a single one.
Yeah, that is something else. Robisky's last job was in 2020 as the Jaguars running backs coach, and he has not worked since then. So 70, I'm guessing he's hung it up. I don't know if he's officially retired or.
I don't know, man. It sounded like he was retired at halftime.
Oh, yeah, he was retired a decade ago.
It's not like Mike Mularkey hired a bunch of bums, because like Russ Grimm was a good and quality offensive line coach. He brought in Dick LeBeau,
yeah,
right?
I was going to say.
These are things that, it's not like Mike Mularkey just gave it all entirely over to his buddies, but Terry Robisky seems as big a buddy hire as could be found. Who was Mularkey's? Mularkey was the tight ends coach when he was promoted as the interim. I'm trying to think, because Robisky wasn't his first offensive coordinator, was he? Or was he? I can't remember exactly.
Yeah, it was pretty sure it was Robisky the whole way.
From 16 on?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Mularkey, yes.
What a mess. Anyway, 615-737-1045 is the number. Larissa is calling us.
Oh, stop saying it like that. The shade of the show is so fun. And no, I didn't give her tea, and I don't work for Miss Amy, because last week you guys were like, oh, does she work for Miss Amy? No, I don't. But I am curious about the ugly win concept that people keep focusing on.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's not a pageant. I mean, where someone, do people expect, and maybe let me kind of roll back. Ugly win, pretty win. A win is a win is a win. So do people expect like somebody's going to sashay out and say, here's your ugly win award. You get the plastic cup and some dead flowers? And hopefully your next one will be pretty. That's not the point. A win is a win. It's a win. And, the heart, and the opportunity and timing came together, because I was even going, like you said earlier, but you were going, I'm trying to figure out where to go to dinner. I think a lot of folks were thinking that, like, okay, tickety-tock. But congrats. And, again, you guys are amazing. And seriously, great job. This is the best station. And no one's paying me to say that. Anybody listening?
I did. I paid her.
Preach, Larissa.
Oh, it's not paying for it when you get as lumped in with compliments and praise, huh?
No, I was talking about the win is a win stuff, but that stuff is good too.
Who was it? David Questenberry on those Vrabel teams that had the line about it's not pretty, but it's beautiful, right? And they made T-shirts. Well, I don't know if they made T-shirts out of it, but it was a big theme the entire year. It's not pretty, but it's beautiful. So yeah, your point is well taken, but I think the thing that makes it so, well, there's plenty of teams that won ugly yesterday. There's plenty of teams that dominated yesterday. There's a lot of lopsided scores in the NFL yesterday. The Colts it was either hanging it on the Raiders.
Yeah, it was either blowouts or crazy comebacks.
Yeah.
It felt like there was no in between. The Colts destroyed the Raiders. The Cowboys wiped the floor with the Jets. Cleveland, Minnesota was a good quality game. Dylan Gabriel, impressive in his first start in London.
Yeah, for sure.
Did some good things, but
and that's a quality defense. That's the best pass defense in football.
Carolina was down 17 to the Dolphins at home and rallied to win 27-24. Denver down 2 touchdowns going into the fourth quarter. They came all the way back to beat the Eagles on the road, handing Philly its first loss, and now Philly has to go make a sad trip over to Europe. And then absolute barn burner between the Bucs and Seahawks. Just Baker Mayfield and Sam Darnold
that game.
Throwing haymakers.
It sounded like a really fun one. And Drake May was excellent.
Yeah, he was phenomenal.
Excellent last night. Bills playing a a little below their standard. Patriots able to get the upset. Drake May is a problem.
Yeah, and Stephon Diggs was locked in, man. My goodness.
That was cool. Your point is well taken. Wins do not have to be. Wins are rarely in the NFL. Like, I think it's easier for college football teams to, like, have start to finish dominant wins where it's offense all over the place. And, well, that's fair. Maybe that's a product of a different era. But, like, very rarely do you see. That's what I think makes the Colts so impressive. The Colts are just smoking people, just out here running roughshod on teams.
Yeah,
especially offensively. So that's the exception, not the rule. You are more than welcome to win ugly football games. Win as many ugly football games as you like, as long as you win. Winning will cover up a lot of your flaws because, again, I don't think that they're any different today than they were yesterday. But I do think that winning will make it feel a lot less bad around your football team, around your coaching staff, around the decision-making, around the quarterback play.
Well, you needed to see some life somewhere along the way, some juice. I heard Zach saying it. I was listening to League Company Countdown to Kickoff with Zach and Brent on my drive in to the station yesterday, and Zach was saying, I don't know if this Titans team is an any given Sunday team, right? Any given Sunday, anybody can beat anybody. It's proven year in and year out, week after week in the NFL. But the Titans hadn't shown that yet. We were sitting here wondering, can they be just competitive in these games?
Stolen line, Zach Lyons. I see you.
By whomst?
Me.
I don't believe you. And so
run the tape.
Titans are down 21-3, 21-6.
I know that was icky for you to have to quote me.
And then we're looking over, and the Saints, another comeback, down 14-3, rallied with just a huge unanswered charge to beat the Giants, 26-14. Spencer Rattler getting his first win, throwing a bomb to Rashid Shaheed, and you're just looking over. It's like, man, even the Saints are like starting to find some juice, they pushed the Bills last week, and you were waiting for the Titans to do that. And so, yes, it came by way of the Cardinals having an epic fourth quarter collapse. But you still had to do something with it.
Yeah, they did something with it.
And they did.
And I did not think they would do a damn thing. Especially after like I mentioned, the big return. They had a drive that went for a yard. It was a very expeditious 3-and-out by the Tennessee Titans. I'm just looking around and being like, you cannot find a team. And, of course, this is hyperbolic by me. But I would struggle to find a team anywhere in NFL history, Lucas, that has had as advantageous field position, or at least starting field position, as an offense, and has done as little with it to that point heading into the fourth quarter as the Tennessee Titans had done through, 4 weeks and 3 quarters. I mean, Chimere Dike is doing his job well. The Titans special teams unit is doing its job well. It's just the offense finally looked like it had a pulse yesterday. The passing game finally looked like it had a pulse yesterday, really for the first time since Denver. And since Denver early, where he wasn't having to press as much. He was pressing, but in a different way. He looked comfortable.
Yesterday, the special teams was odd because it was absolutely an advantage. But, man, if Titans had 6 penalties for 35 yards, which you look at, it's not necessarily something that totally hampered them, but it felt like 4 or 5 of those 6 were on special teams.
Yeah, because you had the Marcus Harris textbook blocking it back. Brett Kern back in the studio with Robert nodding vigorously.
But even just like operational stuff, like
they had the illegal procedure right on the punt, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
They had a couple of different things, and the neutral zone infractions. Stop lining up in the neutral zone. I feel like that's not a hard one to rectify. But anyway, Josh is calling us from Indiana.
Hey guys, how's it going?
Good.
Oh my God, happy Victory Monday. I mean, it's just great to finally see everybody just has relief and joy. And I've always been a big believer in the sports adage. As a rookie, you got to learn how to lose a few before you start winning. And just that second half, from the coaching staff to the players, everybody just did a hell of a job. And we finally got the good juju to go our way. And, I mean, we'll see what happens. I mean, we're only 1-4, got a long ways to go, but I tell you, it's just still good to see. That it was a big shot in the arm. So, yeah, tighten up, guys.
All right. Thanks for the call. Big shot in the arm. We'll see. This is the definition of keep your powder dry for a team that, again, do you remember the last time The Titans have won back-to-back football
We
games?
talked about it before you came in. Yes, they went down to Houston last year, scored 37 points, won
32.
37.
Might double-check that.
And then the follow-up was a lifeless performance in Washington.
No, the Washington game, they were dead halfway through the first quarter. It was over.
Yeah, exactly. Like right out of the gates.
Yeah.
So now you get a Raiders team that is reeling, man. That just got shellacked, and Geno Smith cannot stop throwing the ball to the other team. And Ashton Genty's showing some life, but that offensive line looks worse than yours does right now, especially after yesterday.
Alex is in Texas.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
Not much.
Hello? So,
It was 32.
three
You're right.
quarters of bad play, right? And then 1 quarter of good play. And last week's team would have lost this game. And so we have to recognize that this team, that they did something to win. And so that's where I'm at with this. I'm hoping that we can really continue and that, that they built on this. And it looks like the offense is getting it together.
Yeah, and listen, Alex, you're entitled to feel however you want to feel about that. I don't know. I mean, last week's team, this week's team, it's the same team. It's the same players, the same coaches, the same quarterback. Quarterback just did something this week that he didn't do last week. I don't think there's nothing has changed. I still feel the way that I do about the coaching staff. I don't think that Brian Callahan should be the head coach of the Titans. But I am in a situation where I'm looking at them and being like, yeah, well done. You responded. You did your job. They did their job. That you're allowed to be excited about that. You should be excited about that. God knows they haven't done their job for the 10 previous results. If he had lost 11 straight, Brian Callahan, it would have been the first time since the Titans moved to Tennessee. The last team for this franchise that lost 11 straight was the 1994 Houston Oilers. And do you remember what changed, since you were asking me about Titans history? You remember what change that brought about?
The
1994, 11 straight losses for
Jeff
the Houston
Fisher.
Oilers. Jeff Fisher. Jack Pardee to Jeff Fisher. So I'm not trying to take away anything about a victory Monday, but I don't want to make it more than it actually is, which is a team that you played made mistakes, and you finally capitalized on them. Teams have made mistakes against you before, and you have not. I don't know if that means that it's going to be different next week against the Raiders. I await the results before we make any judgments about what we actually learned yesterday in Arizona. Other than Cam Ward looked like he was worthy of the number 1 overall pick, and it's been a couple of weeks since he looked just like that. Brett Kern will join us in studio next. Your phone calls, too. I'm Buck Rising. It's 104.5 The Zone. If you're not feeling the sizzle with your current financial advisor, you need to call Trajan Wealth today, because occurrences like inflation, changing economic policies, new laws, and interest rates can affect the financial markets in the short term, but it doesn't make sense to keep changing the way you invest in response to the daily news. Instead, Trajan Wealth will help you review your strategy and make sure that it's right for your goals, your level of risk tolerance, and your time horizon. Trajan Wealth is there to help you decide what to do. The simple truth is that there is more to retirement planning than simply calculating your expenses to maintain your lifestyle through this next stage of life. Trajan Wealth can build a strategy based on realistic options that align with your goals and your circumstances. So call them today at 615-270-5000. That's 615-270-5000. Visit them online at TrajanWealth.com. Advisory services offered through Trajan Wealth, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor. This is a paid advertisement.
12:02. Good afternoon from the 104.5 The Zone studios. I'm Lucas Panzica. The Titans trailed 21-3 in the second quarter, 21-6 going into the fourth, but capitalized on Cardinals' mistakes and charged back to win 22-21. A 16-point fourth quarter for the Titans, and Cameron Ward connecting with Calvin Ridley on a couple of deep balls in that final frame, including this 38-yard completion to set up the game-winning field goal.
30 seconds left in the game. Ward throws downfield. He's got Ridley. He got it. He's out of bounds inside the 20. Yes. Cam to Calvin down to the 15-yard line. What a throw. 38 yards.
That set up Joey Sly's 29-yard game winner, and the Titans pick up their first win of the year, dropping Arizona to 2-3 with the third straight loss. Brian Callahan will meet with the media coming up at 2:30. You can hear that live coming up on The Zone on Cover 2. Monday Night Football wrapping up Week 5 in Jacksonville. The Jaguars 3-1 hosting the 2-2 Chiefs. 7:15 the kickoff. You can hear the Westwood One call right here on The Zone. For all your foundation repairs and waterproofing needs, visit USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Titans and Vols. This is 104.5 The Zone.
Welcome back to the show, fueled by Hattie B's Hot Chicken, the best hot chicken in the world. Brett Kern is here. Titans won. What are you fist pumping about? What are you so happy about over there?
You just keep on going.
No.
Some kind of energy drink.
No, it must be, are you drinking energy drinks today?
No need. The victory is energizing me. No, the game time has been set for the third Saturday in October, and I'm fist pumping because it is a 6:30 p.m. Central kickoff, which means that I can watch it after Nashville SC concludes its decision day matchup against Miami.
Very good. So we have
a fist pump.
Worthy of a fist bump indeed. Titans win, which I'm sure. What are you laughing about? It was a win. I was there. I saw it. I don't believe it, but I saw it. 22-21 in Arizona. It was an unbelievable win. By win probability, it is the second most improbable win that they've been able to secure, save 2023 at Miami, with Will Levis leading a fourth quarter comeback. Nick Suss, who covers the Titans for the Tennessean, at one point looked over at me and said this is about to be Cam Ward's Will Levis game. He said it in jest, and then he tweeted out a list of different things that you could watch instead of watching the Titans and Cardinals yesterday. But then they did it. Brett, where do I even begin? How did you consume yesterday's victory?
Obviously, we got Sunday ticket on at the house, so I was watching the Eagles not cover, which I called incorrectly, so that was great. Just watching, the Colts-Raiders game a little bit, just kind of taking in football in general, especially for that noon hour. And then, when the Titans are on, same thing. I think it was Chargers, Commanders, whatever afternoon games were on. Tampa Bay, Seattle, which was the uniforms on point.
So good.
Did they both wear throwbacks?
Oh, yeah.
No.
For me, it's about the Seahawks throwback. Those are sick. Awesome.
So wait, creamsicle box or no?
Creamsicles. Mm-hmm.
That's awesome.
All white. It was good. And that was a great game, too. Tampa Bay obviously kicking a field goal at the end there to win that one out there. And Seattle goes to, I think, 2-8 in their last 10 home games out there, which is
crazy.
Which is pretty crazy considering what that place is or what it used to be as far as just the home field advantage. So, first three quarters yesterday, pretty rough. Obviously, for the Titans actually to come out and establish the run on that first series was great. But by the next time you get your second possession, you're already down 14-3. And so that kind of eliminates the run probably how you want it to. And then obviously Cam's put in positions to try to throw, and it just looked like he was trying to press too much, trying to make too many deep throws, just trying to make that play instead of what was taken in front of him. And obviously by the time the fourth quarter rolled around, probably enough conversations on those iPads on the sideline to be like, hey, Cam, man, this stuff is right here. It's okay if we go, 5 yards, 6 yards, 7 yards and just chunk our way down the field. Obviously with an explosive play, Calvin Ridley and Chig in the open field. making some good catches, but then the yak and making guys miss was great. And Gunnar Helm, a drop that he had to come back and, kind of that tippy toe catch, the fourth quarter was huge. So, yeah, I mean, like I said, first 3 quarters pretty rough, but to have that fourth quarter, no matter what you want to say, hey, the Cardinals gave us the game, whatever. I mean, you think the Rams are complaining about what Mitchell did?
No.
For the Colts, just that's what it is. That's why you play, and that's why you. I think Kyler Murray said it after the game. We felt like we were one play from just ending them, and they couldn't do it. So
they were.
They were, and kudos to the Titans for taking advantage of. I don't know what that was. Just at first I thought they were going to call it a false start, and it hit off Murray's face mask, and then he doesn't even go to the blue tent. Now he's gone, and it's just that fourth quarter was just unbelievable. But hey, the Titans took advantage of what was given to them, and they still had to make a game-ending drive. And I will say this: kudos again for ending that game correctly with taking a knee, forcing the because the Cardinals wanted them to score.
Yeah.
Like they were going to Red Sea that thing. Hey, you score. We have 2 timeouts left. We'll get it with 30, 40 seconds left. No, we're going to take a knee. We're going to force you to burn your timeouts, and we'll be able to kick a field goal, and you'll have it with 10 seconds left, no timeouts. So that was definitely great to see. Kind of end of the game clock management. But yeah, hey, 1-4. Let's go.
Well, and Callahan's been killed for certain situational things so far this year. That he handled correctly. I want to get your opinion on the fourth down decision making by him.
That was a head scratcher because
like Brett, this is why I love.
I was wondering if that was coming.
You and Ben and Nate, because I will get upset about things that I see, but then I will ask you, hey, why should I be upset about the things that I'm seeing? So tell me why I should be upset about the fourth down call.
Hold on. So 4th and 10. End of the second quarter. That's what you're talking about, right?
I'm talking about the fourth down decisions at large. Why they decided to go for the 4th and 10, but then opted to punt on as many fourth downs late in the game, down 15 as they did. I thought they were in fourth down territory basically that entire second half. The coaching staff seemed to disagree.
So it boils down to they go for it on 4th and 10 when they're right on the edge of Sly field goal. What would it have been? Like a 60-yarder?
That was end of half, correct?
Yes, at the end of half where they choose to go for it on 4th and 10 rather than just boot a long field goal and get it down to, I guess it would have made it 21-9.
Well, I mean, yeah, because Cam got sacked.
Yeah,
right. He gets sacked.
Right. So that's the same as a missed field goal.
Yes, exactly.
That
and
was
then
a jailbreak type of situation. They came screaming by Dan Moore.
Yeah, and then decent field position in the third quarter and 3 and out. They punted every time.
Yeah, I mean, I understand. In the second half when you're punting, Johnny, you had a great game. You're controlling field position. Your defense is playing lights out. And I could totally understand that. I think the part that was confusing to me was going for it on 4th and 10 when the previous week, it was 3rd and 12, and you just ran a little play, a little draw play, and obviously didn't get anything. And I'm not 100% sure if I remember correctly his explanation, but it just seemed like, hey, there's not really a lot in the playbook for this. We weren't really completing anything downfield. Protection wasn't there, so I don't know what changed. Obviously, to go from a 3rd and 12 call. To all of a sudden now you're going for it on 4th and 10 and, not trying to field goal. So it's and punt it too. I mean, you could, punt it, pin him deep. But yeah, it's a little confusing.
Yeah, maybe it's nitpicking at that point, but this just given the way we're looking for them to try and step on an opponent's neck, right? And to try and capitalize that way. And I just thought it was a glaring lack of aggression, some of the decisions that were made, whether it be not going for the 2-point try in that specific situation after the Tony Pollard touchdown, where the math just clearly indicated that you would rather have to worry about getting the extra point later on or do the 2-point try then, not have to worry about it later in the game and set yourself up for success. It seemed pretty turnkey to me. Everybody, at least Seth Walder and people like that on ESPN Analytics, seem to agree.
It's definitely the
Callahan
analytical play, for sure.
Right.
Which is supposed to be what this staff brings to the table, right? This is supposed to be
we talked about that when he got hired.
Next-gen Titans. Chad Brinker, not just Brian Callahan, but there's supposed to be a great deal more. Math is supposed to be at your advantage here, which is why it made it so confusing anyway.
Where are you on that? Because I feel like I understand the analytical play, but I also understand just make it a one-score game. Obviously, they didn't. You don't expect him to miss the extra point.
Right.
But I also get it from that standpoint. Just make it a one-score game. Worry about the 2-point if you need to later.
So I'm always a big worry about the 2-point conversion when you absolutely need it. So I understand. I mean, you can go either way with it, right? I understand why, they kicked the field goal, kicked the extra point. Now, that was probably Joey's. He got a little tendency right now. He's missing it, missing him to the right. I think his hips are just coming through a little quick, kind of leaving that toe a little bit behind, causing it to push, similar to golf. You get those hips ahead of you and that club head is staying behind, that becomes a push or a hard slice. And, it's kind of the same thing with kicking. So, obviously not ideal. But I'd be curious to see, if that's, talked about a little bit more today in the presser of just kind of the explanation behind it, at least the thinking. And I think, when you're 1-4, you're going to nitpick at little things. When you're 4-1, you're usually not nitpicking at little things. So
we'll talk more Titans with Brett Kern coming up next. 615-737-1045 is the number if you want to get involved there. I'm Buck Rising. It's 1045 The Zone. Welcome back to the show, fueled by Hattie B's Hot Chicken, the best hot chicken in the world. Brett Kern is here. It smells of onion, which means it must be lunchtime.
Onion and cilantro, pretty heavy over there.
This is what I deal with. This is what I deal with. Look at you just chuckling like a gremlin. Lucas is like something you don't feed after midnight. What's that movie called? Is it literally just called Gremlins?
I don't know.
Haven't seen that one? You're my pop culture go-to here.
Yes, it is Gremlins.
If that mic could talk right now.
It would be screaming. Screaming for help. When will it end?
We found a lovely little source of tacos on Uber Eats.
Are you still hitting up that same place, Robert?
Yeah, Andrea.
Andrea's Kitchen.
It's the only thing keeping me alive right now.
Onion and cilantro. Keeping him alive. All right. Brett Kern is, of course, here, as is the custom on a Monday. Chimray DK is a stud. Would he be a Pro Bowler on any other team?
Should be, and I think he should be a Pro Bowler as of right now, regardless of how the Titans finish. Not a lot of guys are able to go two-way in an essence of, being a kick returner and a punt returner. That carries a lot of weight when you come down to Pro Bowl voting, whether it's the coaches voting or you're coming together as peers, teammates voting, somebody that can go two and be successful at both. That's pretty impressive. So, I've seen another big return yesterday, and he's smooth. It doesn't even look like he's running very fast. Like it's almost like, hey, come on, let's go, get the gears going. But
just gliding out there.
He's so efficient with his movements. Even on that big return, they split it right there, the 4 and the 5, and they just kicked out, the 4-3-2, kicked him out to the sidelines, and they kicked out both 5s, to the middle of the field. And it wasn't really a big hole, but he's so efficient in his movement. He can keep his speed going at the same rate and move his hips to break tackles. And so he's just very efficient, not a lot of wasted movement, and that allows him to be able to have some big returns without having to stop, start, shift, try to beat people in a phone booth. And he's just very efficient.
Who else is really good at that right now, doing the double duty? Kick and punt?
I'd have to look, New England. Debo, he's splitting it with Luke McCaffrey because, Washington's up there. Debo's, almost 36.5 per kickoff return, and Luke's up there at 31. So I think between the two of them, you're looking at 18 returns, probably averaging every bit of 34, 35. And, there's honestly not a lot of teams. Teams have kind of gone away from that because I think you need a certain type of guy for kick return, and then punt return is just totally different, different type of skill set. So for DK to be able to do both is pretty impressive.
Leading the league in kick return yards.
Yeah, 666. It's 26.7. That's pretty good. And then punt, I feel like he's doing great on punt. Like I said, you want him to, try to get a first down every time. And, he's at 13.7, and that's 8th, but there's 5 guys ahead of him that already have a punt return for a touchdown. So he's, Turpin's probably the standard.
Yeah.
And he's ahead of Turpin in both. So that's pretty impressive.
What do I do with all the penalties on special teams? They lead the league in special teams penalties.
Frustrating. Yeah, they got 13 of them, and I think the frustrating part of that is 6 of them are just before there's even a ball kicked. Illegal formation, whether it's on kickoff or punt, not having guys lined up the right way, breaking the plane, center's belt. That's tough, because that's hitting yardage. We talked about it before about hitting yardage, and even yesterday you got a holding. You're supposed to start on the 23. It's down to the 13. DK had a nice 17-yard return out to the 33. Got called back to the 10. So that's 23 yards lost. So that's 33 yards lost total. Another one, whether it's to the 25 and you get an illegal formation and goes out to the 30, you're still losing yards. Now, thankfully, Johnny, outpunted Blake, so they won in the net department, which is huge, and they kind of controlled field position with how Johnny punted. So you can kind of make up for some of those penalties, but still, you'd rather start at the 33 than the 10. So it's frustrating. I know some coaches, they coach aggressively and they say, hey, make the officials throw the flag. Like, we're going to be aggressive. We might hold, we might do certain things that are quote unquote illegal, but we're going to make the officials call it. So I don't know if that's Bones and his technique, how he coaches. And also I think it's just a byproduct of having a young, special teams unit. Guys are trying to figure it out, tricks of the trade, how to set blocks up, certain techniques. When your first technique doesn't work, how can you get away? Not get away, but what's your second technique? It's almost like a pass rusher, right? You have your first move, what's your second and third? And you need that for special teams too. What's your first go-to? And then your second and third. And so these young guys are trying to figure it out, trying to learn it. And I think a byproduct of that is some of these penalties.
Brett Kern in studio with us. 615-737-1045 is the number. Lucas asked the question in the first hour. Brett, what should the name of this game be? Apparently DJ is in Nashville with a submission.
Hey, what's up, guys?
Yo.
Hey, so I've got something kind of pulling off that, that grand illusion from the Daber Copperfield, but I would call it like Cam and them boys with the ultimate illusion in the desert. You can shorten it up or do whatever you want, but that was magical,
The illusion in the desert.
But that was the grand illusion in the desert.
Okay. It's not terrible. It's tough to beat Line of Demarcado.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
I was driving when that one was submitted, and I had to have my hands on the 10 and 2 when that was.
I feel like this show does that to you quite often. I'm concerned about your driving habits out there.
Man,
I'm a great driver.
That guy, your top two running backs go down.
Yeah.
You have an opportunity in this game.
Yeah.
And to break one loose, to put the nail in the coffin, and for that to happen. Like, he just had to be inconsolable. In fact, Robert was showing me the sideline video. I don't know if you guys saw it. Paris Johnson, the Cardinals tackle, is comforting him basically on the sideline. And Jonathan Gannon, walks up to him and is lighting him up.
Well, good.
I mean, lighting him up, and gives him a couple pops to the chest too. Not like the Jim Harbaugh pregame with the quarterback, firing a dude up, but
what else do you do, Lucas? The fact that we're still seeing that play,
it's crazy.
It's in back-to-back weeks. A.D. Mitchell, my God.
Yeah.
How is this still a thing? I thought surely.
Take that ball with you to the sideline.
It's like when the Eagles spitting on the guy, and then that weekend, what's his name in Florida?
Oh yeah, the Gators player. Yeah. Just, how is this a thing that continues to happen? Just secure the ball across the goal line. And again, L'Jarius Sneed is telling
props
us
to Sneed for what was that in the Super Bowl? I remember because I was a Bills fan growing up. Don Beebe running all the way back and punching that ball out.
Yeah, legendary play.
So this goes back a long time, these types of...
Well, and Sneed hustled.
Oh, he did, yeah.
So I will give him credit for that. Again, I did not know that he did not actually hit that ball until this morning because...
Yeah, it looked close.
In the press box,
right.
We're in the opposite end zone from where that play takes place. So DeMercado is running away from the press box. So I see Sneed swing up, ball comes out. My instant reaction is, Sneed hustled, popped that ball out. Then we're asking guys in the locker room. Jeff is praising him up and down for being able to make that play. They're all treating it as if he has actually made that play. And I'm not going to take anything away from the hustle. The hustle is still there.
Yep.
But for Sneed to tell us that he believes he did impact that ball when I think the TV copy shows that he did not. Irrelevant there. DeMercado just has to hang on to that football. As a player, all right, you've dealt with a bunch of different types of coaches, and I'm sure you heard the Terry Robisky story from Ben.
Man, that's a first.
You were on that team. You didn't know that.
No.
God.
I didn't. No. Now I know why they were so stressed. It makes sense now. It makes sense.
Yes. Every good vibes. Jonathan Cyprien takes out Travis Kelce. Second half is going your way in that game.
Marcus throws it to himself. It's
insane.
Bounces happen. That game, Marcus throws it. Same thing as yesterday, right? Guy makes a great pick. Ball's tipped, great pick, falling down. And look, is what it is. Tyler Lockett hustling. You get a touchdown out of it. Yeah. So that's football.
But so let's just what Lucas is saying about Gannon and DeMercado. What is the proper way for a coach to respond in a situation like that with you as a player? Because it's not. I'm sure you've had moments in your career that you would like back, and I'm sure different coaches have handled it differently with you.
Yeah.
I don't know what because my response to that would be good. The only way to get people to stop doing that is to publicly shame them.
Yeah, it probably depends on the player,
okay.
I think. I think everybody's different. It's for me, I didn't really appreciate if I never really talked to a head coach. I never had a lot of, conversations with head coaches over the years, just because specialists we're on our own timetable. We're doing different things and, working on our golf game in the locker room and stuff like that. So, I think if I had a bad punt, first of all, I'm going to be the first. I'm my own toughest critic. Like, I know when I have a bad punt in a certain situation or just in general, like, I know I messed up. So I don't really need somebody coming over to me, especially like the head coach, you might not be involved in any of the technique stuff, special team stuff, whatever, stuff that we're doing every day, day by day, for you to come over and say something to me like, man, like, I know what I did wrong. Like, if special teams coach wants to come over and like talk it through, like, hey, I know that's not your best. You'll get the next one. What do you think you did? Try to talk through the situation. That's a little different. But, I know Jonathan Gannon. He was here. Arthur Smith was the defensive quality control coach in 2011. And Gannon came in, I think it was 2012 and 2013, right behind him in the same position. And so to see him progress, obviously being in Philly together a couple years ago, knowing that, like, man, this guy's going to be a head coach someday. So, he's a great guy, and I'm sure he probably said some things that, hey, man, like, we need you.
Heat of the moment. Yeah.
Heat of the moment. They might have to have a conversation today, but on the same standpoint, like, things were slipping. Things were slipping out of Arizona's hands, and so obviously he came over and, said what he said, and I'm sure there was some conversation about, hey, man, like, let it go. Like, we got you, but come on, let's go.
Is he in trouble this season? Jonathan Gannon? Yeah. They've been in position to win. They could very easily be 5-0. It's insane. They're not, but
I don't know enough about Cardinals. I saw the Cardinals owner, Michael Bidwell, on the sideline yesterday. He just very briskly walked by everybody on his phone, looking like he was doing something very important.
You have a couple more losses like you did yesterday.
Yeah.
But, there's improvement.
Like, there are...
Gannon did kind of downplay the fumble, by the way, touchback fumble, because he said, it's never about one play. We did a lot of things. So he,
downplayed the importance of it?
Yeah, like he didn't roast the guy with the post-game press conference.
But
he said,
on the sideline, yeah.
Yeah, the sideline, he ripped into him.
Which is fine. If you want to rip somebody on the sidelines, go ahead. But to do it publicly, that's different.
It's tough now because everything's essentially public when you've got as many television cameras.
Which is why I think you got to say what you got to say on the sidelines.
Yeah, for sure. I don't know the answer to that question. I don't know does he answer to Monty Ossenfort, former Titans player personnel director?
Now the GM, I don't know, but they go to Indy this week.
Indy.
Wagon.
Yeah.
Raiders don't look great.
Geno can't stop throwing picks.
Yeah.
Obviously, without Brock Bowers yesterday, did not help.
Arizona goes to Indy, hosts Green Bay, goes to Dallas, and goes to Seattle in their next 4.
Tell you what, there's not many games you'll ever see where the starting punter for the Raiders gets carted off, and then Schrader, the kicker, you said he's out for the year?
Out for the year.
The knee?
With the Colts kicker's out for the year. Yeah, he got hurt in the game yesterday.
And Colts blocked a punt. The Raiders are doing a stupid offset formation, which we used to do that back in the day, and it's not great. But yeah, Colts blocked a punt yesterday, and it looked like the guy tipped it, and A.J. Cole, who's I think one of the best in the league by far, hit the ball in his foot. His ankle came up and hit the dude right in his kneecap. Yeah. And he got carted off. So 2 specialists, one, up and coming, off to a good start to the season. Then obviously AJ's a all pro bowler. So I'll be curious to see. That might be something, depending on who comes in, who's on the free agent market right now.
Oh, Tucker
Stonehouse.
Oh, Stonehouse. Yes,
Tucker is suspended first 10 games.
I don't know if it's
a lot.
10. It's for sure a lot. I just saw Tom Pelissero tweeting out his workout yesterday, and then Pelissero got Robert confirms that it is 10. But yeah, Ryan Stonehouse tweeting some support of Nick Folk the other day. A little shade at the Titans. Thought he was too old for the distance stuff.
Folk's been good.
Stonehouse on Twitter. Yeah, the Jets are not.
Jets are terrible.
He's in hell. What do you make of all the blocks this year, though, on special teams?
As far as just the Rams have.
That's what I'm saying.
The Rams have given up 3-4 blocks in a row.
Is there anything you're seeing?
We had that Sunday, was it last week or the week before, where there were like 3 blocks in the fourth quarter?
Rams-Eagles was like week 3.
Chase McLaughlin, he's known, he's a really good kicker, just a little bit lower ball flight. Same thing with Katie, with the Rams, just kind of a lower ball flight. it also helps too. You got Carter and Davis, for the Eagles that are both massive human beings crashing down on your A and B gaps, where the ball's supposed to fly over. So you put a low ball flight on a deeper field goal, that's a good chance of that happening. But there's been a decent amount of punt returns. It's kind of been crazy, but some of the block punts are nuts.
I think you're getting a phone call. Now, that would be a fine if it was me.
It's not a fine. It's
not a fine for Brett Kern.
Cleveland, Ohio. Who wants to talk to me from Cleveland, Ohio?
Browns need a punter?
Jorquez is doing just fine.
Breaking news?
No. Sorry, guys. That's a radio rookie mistake.
615-737-1045 is the number. It literally happens to me daily. Don't worry about it. Tony is in Nashville next.
Hey, good afternoon. Appreciate you having me on. I thought that the Titans actually, I'm glad that we won. I know a lot of Titans fans that we'll win any way that we can win. It doesn't really matter how you win them, but I still think personally that the Titans looked like probably the worst football team in the country yesterday. I feel like they were gifted an Easter golden egg with a $100 bill in it, and in my opinion, like Cameron said, if we're keeping it buck, you know what I'm saying? So I'm glad that we won. It was awesome. Super disappointed in the way that we won. There are so many things still to fix, and I feel like we still have such an enormous mountain to climb. Appreciate it.
Thank you for the call.
As a kid, I loved the golden egg with $100 in it, and I took it. Here you go, Grandma. I really don't want this right now.
Steal that one. Yeah.
I mean, look, the first 3 quarters were rough. Like I said, if Cam was pressing, trying to go with some deep throws, missing some guys underneath. Iron Man had a drop on third down. Lockett had a drop on third down to extend drives. There were a couple times where it looked like Cam was forcing it into double coverage when there were some guys that were open underneath. Helm was, open on one of them. Lockett was open on one of them that I think he tried to force to Ridley. And so, it's like I said, you go over to the iPad, you see enough of it, you go over there and you're like, look, man, it's okay to be Tom Brady. Like, Tom Brady had an excellent, I'm not taking anything from Tom Brady. Obviously, he could throw the deep ball with Randy Moss and all that kind of stuff, but Tom he would never go broke taking a profit, just checking it down.
Oh, he paper cut you to
death.
And
so, we've talked in previous weeks about Cam kind of looking comfortable in kind of that no huddle, that NASCAR kind of quicker. And like Ben said, when you do that, there's only so many defenses you can call, right? And I just think he looked, that fourth quarter, he looked really good. He was, guys were first of all catching the ball. Ridley had some huge catches on deep throws they were tough catches. But guys were just catching the ball, and he was throwing it to guys that were open and taking what was open, and that's what it looked like.
200, real quick, 207 second half yards for Cam, and 85 of those yards were on the 2 Ridley catches.
Yeah,
it's great.
Almost half.
Good on Calvin, man. I mean, whatever it takes to get him going.
10 targets. I don't know if it was more targets. I mean, he had 10 targets yesterday.
Yeah, but he hasn't lacked targets, Brett. I mean, he's had 8 and 6. I mean, maybe 6 isn't enough. I don't know. But, it's not been a target issue, I don't feel.
You know what's crazy? He has more yards than A.J. Brown.
Oh.
I don't need the Titans Twitter reaction to that.
What are you trying to cause right now?
Just saying.
Anarchy.
Just saying.
J-Rob.
Are you just saying?
He was right. Dan had a crystal ball.
He was just a few years early on it.
Yeah, just early.
A little premature.
A man before his time.
Yeah, many people have said. John Robinson, Renaissance man. That also, I think the caller must have missed the Giants' performance yesterday and the Jets' performance yesterday, because those two teams, for as bad as the Titans were in those 3 quarters, the Jets nor the Giants had a quarter like the Titans did yesterday.
Who would you say are your bottom 3?
Right now?
Jets, easily.
Jets are the worst team in football for sure. Man, Miami's got to be down there. The way that they lost to Carolina after having that lead.
17-0 lead.
I'm going to... Titans still. Titans bottom 3. I think New York still got more at their disposal.
Are the Raiders
in there?
Raiders, it's a push between,
based on the results?
Raiders and Titans are Spider-Man meme pointing at one another saying, look, it's me.
I don't think Brock Bowers makes a difference, but 40-6, you're taking away one of your, if not your target for Geno.
Here's the advantage for the Titans over the Raiders. Cam's not throwing picks. Like, I mean, I know he threw a pick yesterday, but he's not like there are not a tremendous amount of turnover-worthy plays. Geno was putting the ball in harm's way at will.
Yeah. Cam had a couple throws yesterday into the tight coverages that, ooh.
Yeah, there were a few.
Well, I will say this. They were like on target. Like they were on target throws. If you're going to throw that kind of ball into double coverage, like he put it where he had to put it. Because if you're off on that kind of, those are picks. But so, kudos for him to trying to gun it in there.
Yeah, at their best, I don't think that the Titans have a playmaker as good asOwers.
Well, he didn't play yesterday.
Right, he's dealing with a knee injury. He's been dealing with a knee injury since week 1, apparently, and they scratched him yesterday late. But
also, the Raiders' issue has been the turnovers, which hasn't necessarily been the thing that's plagued the Titans.
Did you not just hear what I said?
I don't listen.
Tom Pelissero is reporting that 2 Indianapolis Colts defensive backs have been suspended for gambling. If you know, you know. Brett's looking at me very confused.
Well, fill me.
No, it's just an inside joke. Lucas doesn't listen.
It's like, wait a second. Were they gambling?
Neither of us
on
listen
property
to what the other says. And so there was a time a couple years ago where Tom Pelissero had that report about those 2 Colts players that got suspended for gambling. And I don't even remember.
Literally read the tweet, and then Lucas, as soon as I was done talking, read the same tweet.
No, I'm pretty sure it happened the other way around, but
0% chance. 0% chance.
Pretty sure it happened the other way around.
Okay. Well, this show is just predicated on one of us waiting for the other one to shut up so that we can say whatever we want to say.
Okay.
But anyway, the Raiders' issue has been the turnovers.
Like that.
Right? And so it hasn't been what's plagued the Titans. Sorry, did you say that?
We're going to let Brett Kern go for the day because enough.
Oh, Chief Jags tonight.
Whoa. Every AFC South team won yesterday.
That's right. 3-0.
Can the Jags do the unthinkable?
Chiefs have won 7 in a row against Jacksonville, and they are 3.5-point road favorites.
Well, the Bills won 13 in a row at Highmark. That was broken by Vrabel.
Vrabel game.
The Vrabel game.
Vrabel game.
That I think we all called and said it's a Vrabel game.
No, Lucas looked at us and said, Bills to cover. Because he's just petulant.
I'm just tired of people acting like Vrabel is damn Vince Lombardi. I know he's a good head coach, but
it's literally
it's happened so many times, though.
Lucas,
I know.
You were here all 6 years that he did that exact thing.
Yeah,
and
I know. I was here for the bad stuff, too, though, by the way.
Now he's got a quarterback, though. Like now, that's the best quarterback he's ever had. I don't think it's close, respectfully to Ryan.
It's the most promising, for sure. Yeah, Drake May was, that second half.
Awesome yesterday.
Just was unfazed.
So we'll see if the Chiefs are back or if the Jags can, again, 4-1 for Liam Cohen would be really impressive. Anyway, thank you for the time, Brett.
Absolutely. See you all Friday.
That is Brett Kern, Titans legend. Last call for phone calls. If you got them, 615-737-1045. We'll talk a little Monday Night Football coming up next. Honesty means everything, especially when you're buying a vehicle. That's why I purchased my new Fords from Two Rivers Ford. Two Rivers Ford has real deals. What do I mean by that? At Two Rivers Ford, the best price is clearly marked on their website or window sticker. You don't need to fill out a form with your information to get the best price. You don't need to do anything. And unlike other dealers, Two Rivers Ford never adds accessories or service plans in order for you to get the best deal. At Two Rivers Ford, the best clearly marked price is always available, always accessible, and always real. And if you want extra accessories, or warranties, you can request to purchase them. Honesty is always the policy at Two Rivers Ford, which is why they're the South's most trusted Ford dealer. So for the best price and a real deal, get to Two Rivers Ford in Mount Juliet. Visit them online at tworiversford.com or call their non-commissioned sales team at toll-free 800-900-1000.
Receivers to each side of the pattern. Cam takes a shotgun snap, surveys. He's in trouble. He's trying to get out of there. He breaks the tackle, throws, and it's intercepted. Intercepted down at the 5. Now the ball's being fumbled around. The Titans jump on it in the end zone. Tyler Lockett jumped on it in the end zone. That's a touchdown. That is a Titans touchdown. Cam Ward threw an interception. Then it was fumbled. It was recovered by Lockett in the end zone.
Okay, that's Titans radio on one of the dumbest plays I've ever seen in my life. But who cares? If you're a Titans fan, you'll take it. Touchdown.
Straight up insane. Like, just insane play.
We talked to Tyler Lockett about it yesterday in the locker room. I think the question was, you normally see offensive linemen fall on a football like that when the ball's loose, not trying to pick it up and run with it. Have you ever done anything like that before in your career? It's like, no, sure haven't. Tyler Lockett, been around the league for a long time. Never seen a play like that. When DK Metcalf had that chase down against that Cardinals defender a couple years ago,
Buda Baker.
Did he force that? Did he force a fumble or just make a tackle on that? I think he just made the tackle, right, Robert?
From what I remember, it was just the tackle.
Yeah,
but it was an incredible rundown.
Ridiculous play. So, ridiculous or not, you'll take it because you were on the precipice of doing something that no Titans team has done. You were on the precipice of history yesterday. You were on the precipice of losing 11 straight for the first time in the Titans era. So you avoid that. Brian Callahan is now 4-18 as the Titans head coach, which makes his win percentage slightly better than Ken Wisenhunt. So Ken Wisenhunt can now be the worst coach in Titans history as opposed to Brian Callahan. And we will have the Brian Callahan press conference today at 2:30. There's a couple of different things that I think are worth asking, some of which Ben and Brett both brought up. One, the special teams penalties are continuing to be a problem for them. Two, the offensive approach with Cam, because I do think that there were some differences in what they were running yesterday as opposed to so much 3 wide receiver set. I thought they were using 2 tight ends far more yesterday. I'll look up the percentages on that before I go in. I'm sure Pro Pro Football Focus will have that up by the time we do the press conference. So hopefully I'll be able to put an actual figure on that, and to see whether that was something that was just a matchup specific situation, or if that was something they decided to implement more of for the sake of the struggles that they've been having, and also what Ben is talking about. What Cam Ward said to us after Brian Callahan spoke. I want to live in the 2-minute, right? Mm-hmm. All right, so let him live at least a bulk of his on-field life in those kind of situations where he's able to just key and diagnose as he sees fit. It's a much more comfortable version of him. I understand that their entire offense can't be that, but can you implement it more in game, even because that score separation shouldn't keep you from being able to do that, right? It may take your run game out of it, but it should be able to take you out of 2-minute and 4-minute.
We'll see if that got Bo Hardigree into any sort of groove on what works and doesn't work for his rookie quarterback as a play caller.
We saw Bo in the locker room after the game. He kind of looked shell-shocked a little bit.
I mean, he's a young coach, right? It's probably one of the craziest games he's ever been a part of for a lot of those guys.
Yeah, no, there's no doubt about it. All right, are we ready for some polls? Do we have polls? Did you guys do polls today?
You did.
I was on the plane.
So wait, you have Wi-Fi. You were texting us. I don't know why you waste people's time with this, but yes, obviously we have polls.
Polls.
Presented by Two Rivers Ford, the South's most trusted Ford dealer. Craziest Titans win since when? Adam says 2006 against the Giants, trailed 21-0 to start the fourth and won 24-21. Yesterday was the biggest Titans comeback since that 2006 game against the Giants. Gumby says Chiefs, the playoff win with Mariota throwing the touchdown pass to himself on the road at Arrowhead Stadium. John says that Monday Night Football comeback in Miami in 2023, which Robert told us back in hour one, actually had a lower win probability at one point, according to Next Gen Stats. What was it, Robert? 1.2%?
0.3.
For Miami?
Yes.
Yeah, because you didn't travel for that game, right? Or were you on the road?
I was doing Titans Talkback that night.
I just remember being in the press box being like, all of a sudden he's completing passes to DeAndre Hopkins late in the game that just feel like garbage time. And I'm like, they have the ball back.
Yeah, it went from garbage time to, oh my goodness, this is happening very quickly.
Speaking of which, Mike McDaniel in hell today after that upset by the Panthers.
Yeah, he's not long for that job, it doesn't seem. Describe Cam Ward's performance yesterday with one word. Daniel says he gives two: resilient and relentless.
I'm not going to take it away from him. I don't
say what you want. The resilient and relentless applied to yesterday.
I don't think that they stopped playing. I just think they're bad. Like, I don't think that they've ever been lacking in relentlessness. I think Jeff Simmons is the picture of relentlessness right now. I just think objectively they have been a bad football team, and yesterday they played a worse team.
Ryan says gutsy. Tim says redemptive. Ooh, I like that.
Redemptive.
It
was a big boy moment, right? You get the ball late, you have the opportunity to close an opponent out. The opponent keeps gifting you opportunity after opportunity, and you take advantage. So, to Cam Ward's credit, it was his first big boy NFL moment.
What was the best comeback of the NFL weekend? Unsurprisingly, it is a landslide in favor of the Titans. The second most votes going to the Broncos, getting 11.2% of the votes. Yeah, down. They only had 3 points on the board going into the fourth quarter. At the link, Eagles were just going to ride it out. It was a 17-3 ball game, and then J.K. Dobbins touchdown run. Evan Ingram touchdown pass, 2-point conversion, game-winning field goal with less than 4 minutes to play. The Eagles had ample time to try and come back and make something of it, and the Broncos get a huge win. And there are no more undefeated teams in the NFL after Week 5.
It was in one group text or another. I don't think it was our group text where somebody was sending somebody was sending messages from their Eagles friends talking about don't let Nick Sirianni anywhere near my team ever again. They hadn't lost a game in 187 days. Insane.
That's so funny. What should the Titans comeback win over the Cardinals be referred to as? Alan says the Arizona anomaly.
That's not terrible. Line of DeMercado is so tough to beat, though. I think that's the winner.
Line of
I mean,
demarcation.
Cardinal sin was pretty good. I saw in the F&M Bank chat
The
earlier.
immaculate interception. I kind of like that. The demercado disaster.
Yeah, and if you can make wordplay off demercado, you're doing pretty good. That's why I'm going to go with line of demercado.
Line of demercado is pretty good.
There has also already been an immaculate interception in the Super Bowl.
Which one was the? Oh, wait, is that what they called
the 100-yard return
James Harrison
in the Steelers game?
I didn't know that they called it that.
Well, because they've got the immaculate reception and then the immaculate interception.
Well, yeah, I got that part.
Okay,
there's the polls.
That's going to do it for us today. Fun show. Can they do it again? Brian Callahan's press conference will be at 2:30 today because of the West Coast travel, so I will be there to cover that for you. I'm sure they'll carry it live. Prime time tonight at 6.